Well, hello. This is your friend Eddie O. Doing an Ed Talk today. And what we're going to talk about today is a pretty general concept. We're just going to talk about the idea of the reset. People often know the idea of the reset or Tartaria or the old world. So, what I've learned so far, I'd just like to do a summation of with some pictures, and some things are easier to see without research, and some things you can dig a little deeper. But once you start recognizing the patterns, just like in life, observing, seeing a pattern, and you'll be able to see what happens next. This pattern translates across the entire land. I am from Massachusetts, New England, because when you leave England, make sure you go to somewhere new and name it New England. I'm sure that's what everyone would do. So the United States. Pictures I'll be showing today, the latest one I'll be showing, I believe, is 1912. And there'll be various pictures, and we're going to look for things that perhaps do not belong. We know about some of the inconsistencies with construction in the 1800s and 1900s. But in a nutshell, the reset happened approximately 400 years ago, approximately, and there was a repopulation. Now, in order to have a repopulation, you must have a lack of a population worldwide. So, beginning around 1700 or so, the world began repopulating with us, which might not even be the last civilization, because we are living in somebody else's houses, so to say. So, let's talk about these pictures from around 1900. Like I said, the latest one I have is 1912. Let alone the buildings, but we're going to notice the roads. These buildings are there. It's kind of like a dollhouse with nobody in it, like it has been prepared. We'll see countless examples of these types of pictures. And the roads themselves are dirt. Something to look at when you're looking at older pictures is the size of the trees. You could reference the tree. Of course, if it's an unusual tree, that would be a storyline. But if it's a common tree, you could estimate at least how long the building is. So let's take this building, for example, and if these trees were rooted in the front, how long did those trees take to grow in that particular type of tree? Is that building built in a time period where those trees have been there longer? Now, would that make sense? But we're really not going to be looking at trees. We're going to be looking at the lack thereof. I think I might see one person in this picture right below that cathedral, that spired building on top of that pile of rubble. So this is around 1900. And this is also the same area. You can recognize that steeple in the back, although these construction types do go worldwide, and I represented worldwide, which was why it was so easy to call these Catholic churches, because they were already all over the planet, and they already had spires on them with something of a cross on top of it. Anywho, let's take a nice look at these buildings. This is a part of a city, right? Part of a city. Streetlights, buildings, one person, and a vanilla sky. When you see all these pictures with a vanilla sky, you often wonder to yourself, who were these pictures for? It's almost as if they had a catalog and they were showing, look, it's ready to be repopulated. the manifestation of 1776 in North America is really as far back as we can go. You've heard the orphan trains, the repopulation efforts of the United States, child labor, the Industrial Revolution, textiles. Hey, the gold rush, that got everyone to that side of the country real quick. But what do we see here? Another dirt road, fully grown trees. So this, so to say, would probably be after a cleanup job. See that big stack in the background? Are you telling me in the year 1900, that factory? Or were the powers that be that were resetting this? Here's just a nice little house. Around that time too. People often assume that Tartaria buildings or whatnot, which is a tricky word to use. I like to prefer old world building, previous civilization, not yours, because there are multiple levels, but something like this, that's Tartaria, that's etherical energy, but this is also considered Tartaria, these style buildings. Why? And that's why the term Tartaria really doesn't work as an umbrella term, because these were not built by us, our United States immigrants in a year, right? And there's countless, millions of examples. So again, we see windows down on the bottom that don't look out. This level here, where the road is there for a reason. Could be a little higher, could be a little bit lower, but you often see an added, raised road. Okay, mud flood. The term mud flood implies mud, dirt, burial. And it probably came from a flood, right? And it's sedimented, and I believe it's sedimented all worldwide. I'm not going to get too deep into this point right now, but if there is something to consider, we all know about ancient Rome and how ancient Rome fell in the year 500. And then we know that it got excavated in the year 1727, for 150 years. There was a population living on top of old Rome that did not know that Rome was buried underneath it, correct? Correct. This population on top of old Rome, under 200 feet of earth, in a 12 square mile area over Rome, covering Rome, did not know that Rome was underneath it, right? There was legends of Rome, because Rome's history had gotten forgotten in the year 500. The Vatican and Italy's records go back to that population on top of that 200 feet of earth on top of old Rome goes back to 950. And the population of Rome didn't dwindle really till 700. So, okay, we're talking billions and billions of square feet of earth in a very short period of time to be put on and excavated. That's just a point example. So the thing is, the whole entirety of the United States was dug out. And I believe the rest of the world was as well. It's, something to sit into and look at and look back and forth until you want to get as far as you want to, but everything was here as far as infrastructure, especially, the railroads and the shapes of these cities. Here's these buildings. We see a carriage, right? We see a carriage and a horse over here on the left. That's it. That was the technology, supposedly, at the time. That was our high point of technology, was this horse and carriage. But, this is a little offbeat, but the tunnel systems that we always talk about, they claim for bootleggers, that they use the same bootlegger story all through the United States in every single city when they find tunnels. They say these were for bootleggers. Bootlegging and prohibition wasn't because there was a bunch of drunken Irish guys punching their wife. It was to fit the narrative of the tunnel systems. We have photos. Now, this was a brand new tunnel system, right? Because this photo, around 1900. Doesn't this already look pretty damn old? Sure does. Looks pretty old to me. That guy in the middle with the mustache and that bowler's cap, I don't trust him one little bit. Be wary of the men in the bowling hats. Be wary of the Mad Hatter in his hat. Okay, what's that word up top? Pneumatic is pneumatic. And what does pneumatic mean? It's not electric. It's not gas. It's not wheels. It's pneumatic, like a tube system with air. So this guy in the background here is holding onto that railing. He's at the back of this train that fits into this tube. I don't know. Picture a spitball. Go to the bank when you go to the drive up and you're not talking to the teller and you're the further away customer at the bank and they give you that tube. And you open that tube, you put in your slip, it goes into the bank. It comes back, sometimes with a lollipop or sometimes with a little doggy treat. Why are banks giving dog treats? I do not want to get sidetracked. Now here we have a building. Looks pretty abandoned. This is around the year 1900. So, when was the construction of this building? Just got finished probably. And it looks pretty old and abandoned, like it was cleaned out and ready for resale. Where's anybody? These aren't select photos I had to go searching for. There are countless examples all over the world. Any city, anywhere, any stadium, any football stadium, any baseball stadium, any library, especially any state capitol. If you notice our state capitol buildings, what do they look like? Rome. Rome was never there. It was already buried. It was excavated in 1700, yes. But it didn't get covered with dirt from the year 650 to the year 900. We're talking 12 square miles, 200 feet high. So the way you can understand is the Colosseum. Everyone knows the Colosseum in ancient Greece. That stands 156 feet to the road, okay? So everything was covered in Rome. There wasn't pieces sticking out of ancient Rome. So that's the tallest, is the Colosseum, 156 feet. And from that point, it went up approximately 40 feet. And that was the level of all of Rome and surrounding towns for 12 square miles. It turns into billions and billions of tons. The excavation process would be completely impossible in the 1700s by what we think is our standards, of course. So, here's a $1 million question. Who cleaned up these cities, right? Here's a brand new tunnel. Nah, they were excavated tunnels. Look at that building right there. That looks like some nice craftsmanship. Look at those spheres. Look at those windows. Perfectly geometrical. Perfectly level. And then we have a horse and carriage. And dirt. If that building was just built and they had to bring the stuff there with wooden wheel wagons and horses trudging through this dirt, and God forbid if it rained. And they will tell you that these pictures look this way with the vanilla sky because of cloudy days. But photo editing, manipulation was a real thing. Why were these photos taken for me to look at right now? Nah, I'm thinking it was like a catalog. They had to prove that these buildings were ready in these cities for a reset. The people that work for whoever use some giant angelic machinery. When we say machinery and technology, I mean, it wasn't this shovel and wheelbarrow right here in the foreground, was it, that cleaned this whole road straight? No, of course not. No, of course not. Now here we go again. They'll put a person in there perhaps because these are all staged photos. City by city. One gentleman in the background there to prove that he is one of the employees, maybe, or the thumbs up. It's like, yep, I'm here. I can attest that there's no one here. So wait a minute. If all these pictures are around 1900, 1800, what does that say about the world population? If they did a reset and repopulated this entire planet? Well, let's look at the population. If anyone is at their computer and their Google and their internet search, look up the population in the last 20,000 years. It stays consistently low until the year 1700, where it goes from 1 billion to 9 billion in 150 to 200 years. Nobody wanted to have sex for 20,000 years? No one wanted to have babies? No. So wait a minute, they built this town and left and then they came right back? Where's everyone right now in this picture? Not there, because no one lives there. But they'll tell you that this town maybe has a population of blah, 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 because it's all made up. Every single bit of it. Everything. Oh yeah, they told you that that guy's not real and that guy's not real. George Washington? Hey, I'm not claiming any of this to be true. I'm trying to use some outside thinking. I'm not committing to any of these ideas. If you want to believe the narrative, that's fine. You'll get better grades in high school. But when you start looking, let's look at this building here. Does something seem off with the road and the level of the road? In the dirt? Does that look like where they would have built that building? Doesn't it kind of look like there was dirt added to these buildings? Like leveled up? And it's going progressively up into the distance, right? So it's kind of angled up, but all the buildings are level. But the road's moving up? Wait a minute here. Appreciate you, Bayu. Everyone, I do see you out in the comments. I appreciate it if you could throw some taps on there and get this up. And if everyone, just 10 people in the room, if everyone can share to 2 people, 3 people, that'd be great. And if you don't know how to share easily, you can just hold your finger down where you would tap for a like, and then all your most common friends will come up. And if you could share to somebody that has a green dot next to them, thank you, Ronan. I appreciate you too, man. Hey, Nicolette, back for more. This is just a general overview of what the idea of the reset and the mud flood and repopulation system was. And all these photographs are from 1900 to 1912. 1912 is the oldest photo I have here. And again, what do we see? Now let's move a little forward. This is around 1912, right? This is one of those older photos I had, 1912. Some automobiles. This infrastructure. They got some wires. Trolleys. Now these trolley lines, those will get interesting. Those tracks will be interesting. I'm going to throw in a couple examples here of things that you can see over and over again that might trigger a different way of thinking. Again, we look at the people here in this crowd, just getting there probably, they're a little out of place. And again, that horse and carriage. Lots of wires, though. Do you think that these individuals put those wires together and infrastructured these wires around this whole city? Or do you think they arrived? Do you think they arrived and certain people of the class in this city were kind of leaders that were already put in position that would act as the common man and kind of guide people in the directions? Trains, bridges and trains. Is this their first day with the train? A lot of the technology that we have now, nothing new under the sun, right? We always say that. They reclaimed technologies, just like our UFOs today, right? We talk about reverse engineering UFOs. That's not crazy, but to find trains, boats, ships, and bridges. Here's another great example. Look at the ground level compared to where the building is. Does that look like added dirt? Perhaps. Why would this be? Granite, limestone, and marble. And the road's dirt. Why? It's kind of like they did a patch job. Here's some people that are probably new to the area. All the World's Fairs, right? Millions and millions of people flock to these World's Fairs. Where did they go after the World's Fair? Nowhere. They kept them there in that damn city they went to. In Chicago, everyone that millions that went to the Chicago World's Fair stayed there. Everyone that went to the St. Louis stayed there. Worldwide, it's a trick. It's a trick. And it's a well thought out trick. Now, this is early 1900. I think this one's about 1930, but this point is for the bridge itself. This bridge, around 1910. Talk about the buildings with hammer and chisel and the artwork and the balance and the beauty and the rocks. That's one thing. But when we start getting into infrastructures, things you could only possibly see from an aerial view, right? I know in the Civil War, there was the Union ballooners, right? There was a Union, had balloons, like a hot air balloon, and they'd go up and look. Oh, yeah. No, of course not, because we know Zeppelins ruled the skies. The Graf Zeppelin was the world famous Zeppelin in the 30s that went all around the world. Yes, they do. They do keep that paths. I believe that monasteries, very faraway monasteries, are reset compounds where they keep the knowledge and sacred knowledge off in a distance. Because this cycle happens every 400 years, whether they want it to or not. They don't want to probably restart, but it's definitely that time now. So these tracks are here. And they would pull trolleys with horses because they know how to use the technology. Again, all dirt, all leveled. This wasn't people with shovels going out here digging this up. It had to be a massive undertaking. And it's worldwide. Now, these gentlemen right here, okay? Here's a picture. Yeah, when they were doing this and they were, come on. Patch jobs, cleanup jobs. They gave them, I think there was millions and millions of people doing this labor. They'd be in each other's way. Here's some people. There's a trolley on some tracks. And these were not electrified trolleys. The trolley was there. There was a freaking engine in the trolley, but they pulled them with horses on a track because they did work. And for a long time, not too long, but a good amount of time introducing into the cities, they just pulled them with horses. And they could only go on the track, right? There's a beauty, huh? What a beautiful building. Everything so beautiful. Hi, Courtney. Good to see you. And Courtney, I did make you a moderator. So sometimes if I do a live after one of these conversation ed talks, I could bring people up and you could definitely help with that if some people want to come up after I scroll through these pictures. This is a great example. You're not really seeing any cars. You're not seeing any Model Ts in this picture. So I'm going to imagine this is around 1905. You're not going to see really cars except for the really big cities after 1910, 1912. What do we see, though? We see a lot of trolleys all lined up. They just turn the electricity on, get those wires going. Ding, ding. Did they build each of those trolley cars? Where was the factory that they built these trolley cars? Where did they come out of? Right? It's almost like they set up a dollhouse. It's odd because, it's all awful and this is a big slave trap. Maybe we're supposed to win. Maybe it's a board game and they gave us a good chance. And they gave the other guys a good chance. Like we're on the Dungeons and Dragons map or something like that. And they're on one end and we're on one end and we're going together. They didn't set up for advantage for them or for us, maybe. But again, look at this. Just let that absorb. What did it sound like? Didn't sound like construction. Thank you very much, Bear. I do appreciate the likes, taps. Hit that bell if you like this kind of material. All these long form videos are on my YouTube, in my link tree, in my bio. Help a truther out. Here's some people that look like they don't belong. But look at them, looking forward. Nobody looks up. They're not like, wow. I don't know, man. It only takes a generation or two, maybe. Of course, here's a little bit further down the line, but still a very interesting angle of a photo. Like, is this a promotional photo? Now this bridge. A couple of bridges really can make you really wonder. Wait, we did have some clouds there, that's right, finally. Well, that's just a rough overview of how this works, I think. And this never ends. You can pick any city, and they all line up. And a lot doesn't add up as well. So, other than that, I don't know how we feel. Anybody have any opinions about how this stuff might work? If you think what history says in the history books is true, do you think it's a little fishy? Or do you think it's completely a repopulation reset not too long ago, and we live in the remains of a once great civilization with amazing architecture, amazing buildings? Never mind the frequency, the bells, the cathedrals, the cymatics. Never mind all that, just the buildings themselves. But empty cities sometimes is all we see. How long was the world depopulated? How long is it going to stay populated? So, this could be your example. Just look in the front of that building. Do you see a dark figure, an animal, in front of those main doors? I do. Kind of looks like a lion, I believe. And now what happens after the depopulation? I don't believe they want that to happen. I believe the event, Mount Meru, right, if you know, 33, the island at the North Pole is 33 miles around. MM is 33 on its side. Mount Meru, the plasma volcano, the blue sword, the light of the earth, will go up. And then the reverse part of the dome, the Humpty Dumpty, the drip, the actual moon, is going to open, and from the outside, outer space, the hyperdimensional, the mouth of Kronos, that will be that red beam. And we're going to get ionized plasma, ionized electrons, and ionized protons coming in both directions, red and blue. Things will go out, things will come in. Is that how we get out? Is that how some things get in? You'll see your plasmoids, you will see floating, you will see your rapture, the atmosphere will be decompressed. So I believe the last time this happened, they had to repopulate. They don't want to give up this usury system of us that we're so well behaved at this point. And I believe that's what Starlink is. These satellite systems all around our globe. I don't think they're for the internet. I think them themselves are going to create a magnetic field around the Earth when the event happens, which might not be too far away, according to some sources I've heard. Does this really amount to a hill of wax? I don't know. Once I got turned on to this stuff, though, everything, every baseball field, every theater, you think that there's Egypt in the Grand Canyon? You haven't scratched the surface of anything. Like these little pieces and bits here and there, examples, are not what this idea is about. It's neighbor to neighbor to neighbor to neighbor. Great fires all around the world, all within a 100-year span, systematically burning down, saying buildings were destroyed, made out of wood. There was no one there in the first place. These are old construction because if they erase the history, and we don't burn books anymore, right? So if there's another loss of knowledge, all of these buildings, especially the, really cathedral style ones, Notre Dame and such, they will be fairy tales. Right now we have pictures, we have evidence of the 1800s, and now they're outside. Go walk into your local city. Look up. Look for a column. Look for something that looks like that Roman revival. Because if it looks like it's from another, it is. It definitely is. There's no such thing as Baroque, Romanesque, Gothic style. No. No, 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 my friend. All the dates are highly fictitious. All the storylines. The fires are a nod. Even if the fire didn't burn down a building, it's this building right here, let's say, oh yeah, there was a fire here and it got refurbished, yada, yada, yada. The fire is a nod to the powers that be. And you can call them Freemasons, you can call them the Oddfellows. You can call them whatever you want, but you're probably wrong. I'm pretty sure whatever it is we try to refer to, we don't know. But the good thing about this is if you can take this information and realize that all this technology, all of our buildings, all of our arenas, all the bank buildings, all of everything, man, I'm talking everything, baby. It ain't real. It ain't really this. So whoever's trying to charge you bills and rent and tell you that you owe them, it's not real. You do not have to work. You do not have to claim a slave position to these powers that be because they say that they're their buildings and then they burn them down and they're insured by themselves. You understand? So at that point, even it's like, oh, that wouldn't stand up in the court of law. I'll be like, yeah, but it'll definitely give you an aspect and truth that will set you free and you'll be able to walk with your head high and know that you can provide for yourself. You don't need their system because it's not their system. It's not these a-holes in the black bowling caps. They kind of slipping in, Don't be scared of anybody. Because the people you think you are scared of you just as much. It's the yin and yang, and we are way past dualism and dichotomies now. There's a one source. And this is his house. These ain't their buildings, or they ain't our buildings. Don't let anybody say that. They are ownership of these buildings. I own these buildings now because I got here first. And now I'm going to put my name. These are all the Eduardo hotels. And I'm going to burn them down, maybe a structural fire and not actually collapse it, but tons of insurance money. From pretend money? Future money? I hope this helps some people not stress about money so much. Because this isn't theirs. You don't owe anybody anything. You are not paying taxes for roads. Okay, is that the funniest thing in the world? Taxes for roads in this whole conversation here? And all we're talking about is not having roads? Yep, taxes didn't pay for this dirt road. Taxes didn't pay for this dirt road. But it is very clear that all of this construction was actually excavation. It was all dug out. Some deeper than others. And they can keep digging. There's levels to it, right? Well, I suppose I could bring a couple people. Anybody want to come up here? If you want to come up, and if anyone has any opinions about this, I can definitely bring Courtney up here if you're still in the room, Courtney, if you're not working. If anybody has any ideas or opinions you'd like to give me your perspective, because I don't want to know. I don't know.
Hey.
Hey, Courtney.
I was still working, but that was my sign to clock out. So thanks.
How are things?
Good. I'm now off the clock. But I was
Are you on the
listening.
clock?
It's very interesting. It all ties together.
It's something, and it definitely does tie together. How else would it be? And it's really odd that this is seemingly.
You're seeing the connections that other people wouldn't hear or notice, though. So thanks for sharing it.
Yeah, it's
Happy to be along
it's weird.
for that.
It is weird, I forget really like the first couple examples I found out, and I'm like, well, that doesn't add up at all. And now with AI and checking records and stuff, it's a running gag at this point.
Mm. Oh, yeah, like earlier when the AI said something about all the buildings have a wonderful history to uncover, and you're like, and it's all fake.
Yeah, gone but not forgotten. Yeah, pretty good stuff.
That cracked me up.
But I don't know. Do you see any requests down there?
I don't think so.
Anybody want to come up here? If not, that's okay.
Find it. We're just gonna start inviting people. Just kidding.
I ain't playing that game. If somebody wants to come up, I'll invite them. But I don't know. I don't know how much information there really is for people to say other than I think you're wrong or. But again, this is just I believe what I'm talking about is pretty accurate. Probably not 100% accurate because this is a big plan to like trick us. But it's gotten to the point where I don't know. It makes me feel that there actually is a closing of a cycle because they're like, all right, just let them know. If they know, it doesn't matter at this point because just the clock's going to run out. Game clock's running out. I can't follow anymore. It's just the clock's running down. So what are you going to do anyway? What would this knowledge do to anybody anyway?
Well, you're finding the little hidden things that nobody knows about just because you are, I guess, innately have the right questions to ask.
That's all it is, right? It's the right questions and how to ask the questions. But it gets really easy once you start recognizing some patterns. And then you see it's not really that many questions. There's always a fire narrative. There's always a short construction time. And there's always an insurance. There's only so many leading things, and it's not exclusive to the United States. It's not exclusive to North America. It is worldwide. So it's the same group that's doing this worldwide. The Great Fire of London was 1666. Again, this Great Fire, was that actually a populated area in 1666, or was it not? Was it just not even true? Who knows?
I think I lost the topic. And I apologize.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
How have you been?
Hi, lovelies. Yeah, man, I'm like out here in Florida trying to survive. It's crazy out here in Florida, many mosquitoes even through December. Ah, what a fascinating life that I have led. I don't want to get crazy up on your live. Honestly, I thought I lost the topic. I really lost the topic because I was like writing and then like I'm trying to deal with like many things in my life right now. And you know what? I feel like an old person, and I don't want to feel like an old person because I'm not old. I'm not even 50.
We're expiring. We are planned obsolescence. We're only supposed to live so long. Well, light bulb moment happened with the robber barons, and they said anybody makes a light bulb that lasts more than 6 months, your whole company's going down, your whole village is going down. It was a light bulb moment.
I love
Planned
those boys.
obsolescence, like your cell phones, like your cars, like everything. It's planned obsolescence. It's meant to expire. Although these buildings were not meant to expire, were they? But they say simple fires, the great fire.
No, they're
These were not
not.
fires. These were bombs. They blew out, and they blew up from the middle. It's like, come on, there wasn't a fire that burned all these. Where did all the rock go then? And so, if there's these giant
Sure.
concrete structures like this granite building that had destroyed in a great fire, where are the remains? As far as I know, granite doesn't totally burn up into the sky, does it? No, of course not.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
but
love your voice. I think you do such a beautiful job on every time that you speak. I haven't heard you for a while because I've been in a difficult situation, so I've been like in and out, and
oh
I
well,
love
this is a
everybody, and I'm
presentation,
just
so if
trying
you
to,
have enjoying listening to it, I please encourage you to continue to do so.
Yep.
of course. Did you get
Does
your
have a good
mic?
voice.
Did you get your microphone?
All
He
righty then.
does, doesn't he? It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
All right. Well, thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Well, we're not going to sit here and praise your
No,
ass.
no, no, no. This isn't
You're
that
going to
kind of
have to
party. That's for
praise
sure. I
me
do
too.
appreciate it
No,
on
I'm
the
just
line.
kidding.
It's nice hearing your voice again. I hope your son's doing well, and I hope you have good holidays.
No, well, my holidays always consist of being alone.
Well, that
I'm
is
going through
what
a troubling time.
these cities are like that.
That's
This person's
not
alone. There's only one
necessary
person in
for
each
the
of these
whole world.
pictures. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well,
I was
that
super interesting.
happens. You're welcome.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Let me shut off my Bose.
Well, yeah. Okay.
By
I'm
the way,
going
I wanted to
to
tell you
take you down. If we have
if
any
you're
other
gonna
ones that want
commit.
to. Okay. I'm gonna take you down. Because nothing against that topics, but if anybody has any topics of this, I guess is what I would say.
Well, I heard today on InfoWars, of course, they had a different guy on that was talking about how I think they said JP Morgan was trying to get Tesla to open a portal to hell so he could save his relatives that were there smoldering. I thought that was interesting. No way to prove it, but I'm like, sounds about right.
Yes, and J.P. Morgan, the enemy of Nikola Tesla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a big controversy that Nikola Tesla wasn't real. He was a false initiative to have people have a faith in something like an alternative source of power, like a controlled opposition where, oh, look, that is there, but it's just not feasible. It's like, oh, they tried to do the free energy thing, but it didn't work. And Nikola Tesla was the poster boy for that characterization. And a lot of these characters could be used over and over. And I think like George Washington would be an
Yep.
example of
Yep.
that. Napoleon is an
100,
example of
baby.
that. If the story
Hello.
works.
Daily Global Peace Summit is here. Hello.
Hello, how are you tonight?
Excellent.
Awesome subject. I've been sort of captivated by it for the last few years myself. I've been a carver, chainsaw carver of wood. So yeah, I don't think horse and buggy really fits with the architecture, and literally domes
Yep.
all over the world. So some massive empire definitely ran the planet, right?
Yeah. And they just covered it all up, swept it under the rug,
Yeah, what
and we're
about
too
that
dumb
place
to
in
notice.
Jordan, right? It's in the middle of the desert.
Are you talking
I
about the
mean,
guide stones? Those were
no,
destroyed, actually.
the one in Jordan.
Jordan. I thought you said Georgia.
No, like Jordan, like in the middle of the desert. Like
Yeah.
there's this amazing, and then you look at Thailand and like I mean, so many countries. It doesn't make any sense. None of it.
Yeah.
None of it makes any sense. How did they? They didn't do that with a chisel. and a man on a rope.
No.
There's no way.
Nobody can chisel that fast.
No, and even look at our high schools, like even here in Denver, Colorado, why in the 80s did everything become so shitty? You know what I mean? Like, so if you find a high school in the 80s, it looks like a piece of shit. Like it just looks like a bunch of trailer parks put together. But if you look at the earlier ones, wow, they're beautiful.
Yeah, a different level of quality and construction, and
Yeah, but for what reason?
I kind of think that the population was quite large, beyond 8 billion. I'm thinking more like 50 billion. But I'm
Well,
just
I mean, you look at these, like even here in Denver, like you look at these cathedrals,
yeah.
right? Um, they are immaculate, and
Right.
and there's no way that they can with, like you said, a horse and buggy.
No.
So how did they make them? It doesn't make any sense. There must have been a reset, and that's why we have this like I don't know, maybe 1970, 60, 50, 40. I don't know. It must have been 1940 because my parents don't remember it, and I don't remember it. And my parents were born in 40s, so
Yeah, my parents were born in 32 and 41.
yeah. So there must have been. I don't know. I mean, something happened. I just don't know what it was.
Yeah, there's some grand distraction. I'm not sure how it works. A good example of that time frame is the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building was built in 1 year in 1930, the biggest building on the planet in 1 year. And this thing's the Empire State Building, and it goes underground for 10 floors too. So there's no way that was built in a year. So was it already there? And then it's odd, that weird time frame. But that's not too far away from the asylums and the resets and the repopulation, the orphan trains and the civilizations supposedly that were here witnessing these things. I believe a lot of these cities had a population of 0 at that time.
Yeah.
0? Hang on. No population of 0. What does that mean? Population of 0?
Oh, sure. I think some of the cities, well, the Great Fires are a great example. There's hundreds and hundreds of Great Fires that happened in a 100-year period in North America. And you can look up any one of those, pick one, and say how many people passed away from that fire. And it's almost always 0. 12,000 people, 15,000 people evacuated in 3 hours, 20,000 people evacuated in 3 hours, over and over again, saying all these people evacuated. But the reason why no one passed away is because no one was there.
And it was all 1880 or 1890. Right?
1800s were a very strange time, for sure.
Yeah, going back through
the late 1800s, at every city, including Denver, where I live next to, we had a giant fire.
Yeah. Well,
how does that happen? Like, and why isn't that taught in schools?
Yeah, I'm up in
So the Great Fire of Denver, you said, and then I'm going to check how many people passed away in the Great Fire of Denver. I bet it's 0.
Yeah.
You think 0 people, or you think 0 people lived?
How many people passed away in the Great Fire of Denver?
Well, only 1 death was reported as a result.
1 death. How many people evacuated from the Great Fire of Denver?
I like that. How many people died in the Great Fire?
How many people evacuated from the Great Fire of Denver?
Remarkably, no one was killed in the Great Fire of 1863 in Denver, but over 70 buildings and 100 businesses were reduced to ash. The exact number of people evacuated isn't available, but many residents sought protection in the damp creek bed or fireproof warehouses.
Estimate
You
how
know
many
what's
people
fucked up?
evacuated.
We don't have a Chinatown.
Approximately 5,000 to 6,000
Wow.
people evacuated during the Great Fire of
There you
Denver.
go. Hundreds of buildings, hundreds and hundreds of buildings, 1,000 buildings burnt down.
Yeah, but
No
that's-
one got hurt.
And that's Denver.
They should have all got lottery.
Like, what
Well,
about
pick any other city. Pick any other city you want. Pick one. Pick a
what
city in the
about
United
San
States.
Francisco? What about, let's do San Francisco.
Okay. Great Fire of San Francisco.
The Great Fire of San Francisco in 1906 left 250,000 people homeless, with over 200,000 displaced.
Okay. How many people evacuated and how many people passed away?
Approximately 300,000 to 400,000 people evacuated. The Great Fire of San Francisco in 1906 caused around 3,000.
All right. 3,000 people
Okay,
they're saying
Chicago.
that didn't live.
Oh,
Usually it's 0.
Chicago.
Chicago's tricky because there was like 6 Great Fires in Chicago, the
Okay,
World's Fair in
New
1906, and
York.
there was prior ones as well. They do it systematic. But you know, pick a city. Denver, there was 7 Great Fires in Massachusetts. It's a small
Philadelphia.
city.
Do Philadelphia.
Okay. When was the Great Fire of Philadelphia? Great Fire of Philadelphia, how many people evacuated?
The 1790 fire in Philadelphia left 400 to 1,000 people homeless, but no deaths were reported.
How many buildings were destroyed?
What year?
The
What year was that?
1790 fire in Philadelphia destroyed around
1790. They're all between 1750 or like in 18.
So that's when it
It's
restarted.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And
So
so
that's
you
when
know,
it
but it's town after town after
No,
town.
when
And if
you-
you look
when
at the
you look
progression
at
of the dates, it goes from the right side. Go ahead.
So when you look at what's in the Grand Canyon, there actually are artifacts in the Grand Canyon from the you know, not the Aztecs, the people from Egypt, like they're totally Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon. Do you believe that?
I don't know if they're well, to say they're Egyptian, maybe, you know, it's where did it come from? I don't know, but yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
You know, they say that. Well, let's look at this thing. We're adults. You think a river made the Grand Canyon? They say the river did it after.
No,
That was one hell of a river.
no, of course not. It was mined. It's a mine. The entire thing is a mine, like lithium, right? Like
Wouldn't you? Yeah, I'd build my castle. I'd build my castles next to the mine. I'd put it next to the resources. So that makes a lot of sense.
if you look at a lithium mine, it looks exactly like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a topic nowadays too, isn't it? Now with lithium and batteries in North Carolina,
Yeah, but I
Ohio.
think they were mining gold back then.
such a coincidence.
I know, right? Yeah. So,
Uranium, yes, Anatron.
oh, maybe uranium. Maybe back then. I don't know what they were looking for. I mean, it's at least 1,000 years old, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's only 400 years old. It's hard to tell because I'm only so many years old. So how would I know?
Exactly, and we got to figure, you know, there's different levels of buildings, and there's probably different time periods in different previous civilizations that go back different eras, you know, to Tower of Babylon and pyramids, and then we have the star forts, and then we have the what they call the Tartaria Empire is the dome era. It's all the buildings with the domes, and then we have our more matrix style buildings that were built in like the early 1900s supposedly, and that's our buildings in New York that are called Art Deco. The Deco buildings that look like they're from the movie Metropolis, and they're all built in a year, and they got 100 stories tall.
But the dome buildings were built like way back in like the Greek and Roman times also. Right? So that was at least 2,000 years ago. And even before that. So those dome buildings, that was their kind of the way they built them. I don't know. I mean,
No one knows. I don't know. No one does know. Somebody probably knows, but
Nobody
It
knows.
definitely
the
wasn't
same
built when they
place?
say it was built. And, they'll say this building was built in what? Like, what's the historical narrative of this? And, it's built by people.
You know why somebody
Us
would
with
say
no
that?
electricity, with
If I
candles and
walked
like
into
no
a church,
electricity, no power tools.
yeah, if I walked
ridiculous.
Just
into a
nothing
church
but
in
fierce
Denver, Colorado,
determination.
and I walked into that church on 17th and Broadway, and I said, "Who built this building and when was it built?" They would tell me what they were told, right?
Yep.
Certainly.
They wouldn't tell me what the history tells. They would tell me what they were told. So we'll never know.
And that's
That's
the
the
answer you
problem.
better have in the test to get a good grade, to get a good job. You better have that answer right and move on.
Yeah.
Regurgitate the
In this
program.
building, for example, down at the bottom is what it is today, and now up top is what it was. So they do things to the buildings to take away
Right.
big signals, big red flags, so to say, like the gargoyles. They remove heads, a lot of the spires. Like if it looks way freaky, like, oh my God, they'll make it look more calm down.
Hang on. What about all the buildings that got uncovered by water? So as they got uncovered, they realized that they were flooded before by mud.
I don't know.
And
I
then
know that Rome, we know that Rome was excavated in the year 1727, right?
they started
Ancient Rome was excavated in the year 1727 for 125 years.
But they started
So how long was it buried? They say that Rome collapsed in the year 500 and then was abandoned. And then somehow, in a few hundred years, all that dirt got on top of Rome and they forgot about Rome. And just history forgot about Rome. And then they started digging there and they found Rome under it. But that land on top, 200 feet tall, had a whole civilization on it. It's called Rome Vecchia. And Rome Vecchia had churches, streets, publicity. And they say that that civilization went back to the year 900. So you're telling me in a couple hundred years that all that dirt appeared just over Rome, and then all those buildings were destroyed when they dug it open? I don't know, man.
You believe that Rome went to hell, do you? Do you think there was a fall of Rome? You know how they say there's a fall of Rome, and Rome fell.
Rome is, well, I don't think that Roman well, I don't know. Who knows? Rome never stopped. Rome is Zion. The Zionistic party.
Rome is still Rome. It's just based on
the Roman Empire stopped, and then there's the Holy Roman Empire, which
how
is
much
kind of
money
like
is underneath the Vatican right now?
money's not real.
Money
These buildings were real, but.
Dude,
So this bridge, look at this bridge. You're telling me they built this bridge in 1890? How did they build this bridge in 1890? Impossible. Impossible. Someone try to describe how.
Oh, you just stack up 300 or 400 wagons and you get the horses to pull the ropes. And
So you get the
Donkeys
horses
Incorporated.
meth.
yeah.
Yeah, why is there no structure in the middle? I have no idea.
That's engineering, man. That's
In
like,
1890?
Well,
Yeah, unbelievable, huh? Still stands today. This stuff obviously was built to last, and then they destroyed some stuff. But how long was it here? That's so it could go back very, very far.
What have you driven over?
They're everywhere.
Yeah, but how many?
So much things. Oh, me?
So you believe in it if you drive over it, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna come up to the side and you'll be like, I don't know, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And
We are trusting.
and you just drive over it, right?
Oh yeah.
Post fire. This is after post fire. You know, they say this is all.
No, really, pull up pictures of the World's Fair
Oh, the World's Fair, the buildings they destroyed. That just
in what was it, 1906 or something?
Maybe that's why
Well, there was.
Uncle Donald keeps talking about.
I mean, how did they do that? And we don't, and we can't build buildings like that. But they
Well,
built
they didn't
it
build.
like
They
a
were
week.
already there. They were already there, and they weren't temporary buildings. They weren't made out of paper mache and matchsticks and hemp like they say they were. So they were real buildings, and then they destroyed them.
No,
It's a lie.
I don't-
People
Why
lie.
would they do that?
Why would they do that?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it's kind of a dick move.
Power and control.
No. Who would do that? I mean, even if I was like Tony Stark, I'd be like, no, that's That's a bullshit move. I'm not going to do that. Or Elon Musk, I'd be like, nope, not doing it.
Zulu, yes, the Dr. J. Then we you got to disassociate who, without being affronting to certain groups. Yes, DJ, I see you. This was built in 5 years, no problem.
No, that's insane.
Isn't it? That's the answer in the test, though.
Yeah, I don't know what city you live in, but we have a ton of those buildings around where I live. And I don't understand why every building is less than. Shouldn't it be better than? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, if our forefathers built that, then we should be able to build something a little better.
right.
Yeah.
And cooler.
Well, I
Like,
definitely believe part
And
of
cooler,
the
yeah.
squareness and making us in boxes and squares and matrix style is to take away our creativity, to stifle our imagination and our whimsy and our joy. It's like, wow, everything was so
we have it.
this is amazing, and now it's
No,
like just this is the way it is. So we don't have that feeling, and we
We
know.
still have whimsy and we still have joy. Hey, we are humans. We are based upon whimsy and joy.
Yeah, but if I was standing up here, I might be a little more whimsical.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say hello to Breeze Hamilton, who's been up there for a minute. How are you? Maybe she doesn't know. Anywho, everyone make sure to go to YouTube like right now and follow Eddie's account. He reposts all these, so in case you miss something, you can go back and watch them like I do. It's Eddie O Knows, right?
Right on. I might have been following you before, but I lost all my YouTube subscriptions not too long ago.
Ew, that's no good.
Hey, can I ask you a question? When you watch a movie as a kid, would you be dreaming about a building like that? Or would you be dreaming about a building built in the 1960s?
Like the old ones, I think.
Of course.
Because they feel real. Like you were saying, Golden, earlier about like how the high schools are built. You know, they used to make them like a real building, and now they make them with, they set up like temporary shacks that don't even have real walls, and the kids sit in them and freeze.
Yeah. And then when they run out of room, they just put like trailer homes outside. It's so weird. Like, why?
We get your high school on Temu.
Yeah, on Timu. Oh, I get it. That was funny. Yeah, that was a good
They
joke.
actually do sell structures and buildings now. They're like $2,000.
Yeah,
So that's where we're at right now. They used to build this stuff.
I actually want to buy one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just buy a piece of land and throw one of those in there.
Absolutely.
Well, when I was growing up in Ontario, I'm in Toronto right now, but I mostly grew up in rural Ontario. My mother used to take us for car rides all the time to get away from the house, and she used to take us to we'd drive all these country roads, and then all of a sudden there'd be this massive church. And we go down this other country road, and the house we lived in was built in 1868, had oak log floor beams in it, had a stacked stone foundation. So there was always an attraction to the architecture, and I just could never understand how we had such massive structures and all these little twig houses that
Oh,
and then
I have
the
a
horse
great,
and buggies.
I have a wonderful thing for you guys to look up. So look up Bishop's Castle in Colorado. Bishop's Castle. He built it. Well, him and his sons, they built it from scratch. So this is what we can build right now with the technology that they had in the old days. Because without using like cranes and all kinds of stuff, they built this thing. And it's pretty insane. They did a good job, but at the same time, it's not like you know that church in what is it, France or Italy or Spain? Oh, it's in Spain, and it just keeps being built with cranes and stuff, and it's never done.
Yeah, the timeline on building these structures can't be 1 or 2 years. That's like completely impossible.
But seriously, pull up a picture of a Bishop's Castle.
Yeah. Well, I've been to a couple of castles in Ontario. One of them was unfinished, and the guy worked on it for like 25 years, and then his wife died, and he never finished it. I forget the name of it.
But this guy did
like,
finish it. Finally, he did finish it. It even has a fire breathing dragon in the front of it. It's insane, but it's not like you can tell it was handmade, right?
Right.
That's my point. So if you hand make something, it's going to look like this. But if
Look at the spires there, eh? So much detail, so intricate, so like. And I'm a chainsaw carver, stone carver, builder. So I look at this stuff and I'm in my jaw drops. I'm in awe.
It doesn't even
'Cause
look
the
like
stuff-
it's from North America, right?
when you
Right.
throw it on the main screen,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Just so much detail, so much detail. You
Well,
can't
that's
even
not-
take it all in.
that's not it.
Whatever that building is, that's freaking
Oh,
amazing.
that's one of the World's Fairs. You can see all the people down there that came to see the
I didn't-
World's Fair.
Yeah,
The people,
that's
populations that
really
came
good.
to these events,
How did they build that? I mean,
they didn't.
they must have. Somebody must
Oh,
have.
they destroyed it.
It was
Yeah,
built
they were responsible for
there,
that part.
and then they tore it down. Why would they tear it
Yeah.
down?
To destroy the history of our true history.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, the
so
people that were here before
They
us.
want us to think we're at the height of civilization and the peak of technology. We are as most advanced human beings have ever been in the history of ever. And that's what they
And
want us
now
to think.
Now we just
We are
suck.
not.
Yeah, but why do we suck so bad now?
I don't know.
That's
We are-
because
I don't know.
we're
It's by
living in a
design.
war language based society. So
But we're
we
not
live in a war
cool at all.
language based
Like, I want to
society,
be
and
cool.
it's low life energy.
Don't you feel like every once in a while when you're just out in the general public and you're like, you know, I just feel really good right now. I mean, maybe they just stole that from us.
Yeah, I've sort of lived outside of the matrix most of my life. Not much TV and artsy and nature, and I feel good most of the time. The more I've dug into this information, the more stressed I've become. But it's kind of I'm on purpose on a little bit of a different track to reveal some stuff here. But
Yeah, it can't be that I have to sell something to some other company, and I mean that's my whole thing, and that sucks. I'm tired of it. I would rather have like a purpose, like you know,
yeah,
like do something. Like you ever watch that show Silo?
no,
Yeah, you ever read Howie?
no.
Well,
I'm a high school dropout, pretty much self-taught.
everybody's got a job, right? And they have to have a job because that's what it's what they do, right? You may be in IT, you may be in mechanical, you may be, I don't know, in the mines.
Sure.
I mean, what you do, you have to do what you have to do, but our society doesn't work that way. Our society says, you know what, you're born, and you just do whatever the fuck you want, and it's kind of fucked up because nobody knows what they want to do or what they should do.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't want to be a communist where we have to do what the government says we have to do.
No, absolutely not.
So there's got to be a fine line between saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm good at this. Maybe I should do that."
So for the past 22 years ago, I had a revelation, and I've been decoding the English language. So we're missing 2/3 of the language. And I know it's a little off topic, but it's very relevant at the same time because,
That's fun.
what's that?
That's good.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to post some stuff now, but we're missing 2/3. Like what they did was scramble the language, which scrambles our brain, and which
Yes. You're
keeps us in
so
a.
right.
So
How
what
did
I
we forget so much? What
just the
They did it on
distraction.
purpose.
Hang on, was it 100 years ago that they uh, cleared our minds, or what happened?
Well,
I know a
that's when
strong
I
date is 1776, manifestation 1776, but things were
yes,
already in motion. But I
yes,
know that date's pretty imperative.
yes.
And, if
Yeah.
there's just people wake up from a destruction, it's usually like destruction, assimilation, and then reprogramming or re-education. So if everyone just comes out
But
like, oh my
wouldn't
God,
it
what
be
happened? They're like, they
World
did that.
War?
They'll just point, it's a setup. Like,
Wouldn't
I
it be
think racism is a
1940?
setup as well. I think it's a
True.
Oh, I
design.
just learned that today.
It'd be
Mm-hmm.
1945,
Funny
right?
synchronicity.
Well, all of it was
Wouldn't you think
pre-planned.
it'd be 1945?
Yeah, it's a monopoly pre-planned to accumulate the wealth and the control. It is like a game they're playing with no remorse.
But so 1945 was the last.
If you read, I forget the document, but they were
It was the
saying
last key moment, though,
it was
in human history, right?
but it was already pre-planned back in the 1700s with what Buddy was talking about, what Eddie was saying there earlier, 1776 just previous. Is at the same time as you had the patriots coming forward, or the peace and the freedom, you also had the Satanists and the secret societies
Yeah.
and the communists. So they both kind
Oh,
of
hang on,
came out
I
of the
got
gate
it.
at the same
I get
time,
it. I totally
right?
get it. It's every single time there's a major thing in the world, um, that's a reset. So
Yeah,
Vietnam War was a reset, uh,
yeah.
and then the one in Iraq was a reset. So they're all resets.
Well, yeah, and it's like flipping the cash to get it back to there's basically 200 families that run the world, and they control all the knowledge. It's all there somewhere.
Not for
So
Whether
just
it's in the
long.
tell us.
Vatican's vaults or in like some of these Tibetan monasteries off in nowhere land,
You guys like watching
there's
movies?
definitely what's that?
Oh
You
yeah.
guys like watching
Not
movies?
as much as I used to. I'm sorry. He said watching movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
Shouldn't we make a movie out about that? Like we just take out those 200 families, like, you know what I mean? Like a
Well, I've been suggesting it
what's
lots
his
in my
name?
comments.
Oh, what's that guy's name? John Wick. John Wick
Yeah,
goes and
yeah.
takes out all the 200 families. That'd be fucking awesome movie, wouldn't it?
Well, with what I'm writing, I call it the whole peace life language source, or that's what it's been told to me, and it also comes with the whole peace life language dictionary, which is an advanced 21st century advanced English language dictionary upgrade, which processes all the definitions first through peace. So when you divide all the 600,000 words into three categories, you have peace words or life increasing words. You have undecided words, which are all the trauma based people that have addictions, afflictions, conditions, and then you have all the war language crime words, which are all physical assaults and everything physical down to death, genocide, murder. So when you divide the language into those three categories, the war language has 29% down to 0%. The verbal trauma has 49 down to 30%, and the life increase is 50 to 100%, knowing the full 100%. Usually the middle and the bottom don't know the whole
Well, it
collection
sounds really
of,
good.
and
I would
each
like
word,
to, since you're a Canadian, I would
yeah,
like to give you my services, and yeah, I mean, let's make it a real thing.
yeah, message me. I'm working on it. I'm looking for investors or partners to help me. I'd like to just stand in an auditorium with 1,000 content creators, and each
I think
word's going to
that
have, so each word has life energies. So when you say war, war is like 1% life energy. And if I put that on a scale on a big screen TV and everybody can see that war has 1% life energy, and you can see that punching someone in the face has like 26% energy or 15% energy,
Well,
and
because it's close
on
up.
yourself, hating on yourself and
It's
being
close.
addicted or
That's why.
conflicted, right?
No, so you have close up energy, and then you have far away energy, like a drone to person, and then you have a drone to drone, which would be like a less energy
Well,
because
what happens?
it's
What
because
happens
of
is
gravity.
right, but what happens too with the language is when somebody like Bill Gates says, "Oh, population reduction." Well, population reduction is down and around genocide, which is 3%. So, who is this person and what are they about? And if you look at
He's a
monopolies
piece
and
of
like,
shit.
yeah, no, for sure. But if you look at it on an energy scale and you look at it with the language, you can pretty much decode any person, any product, anything by
What do
the
you think about Elon
energy
Musk then?
projecting to you, because what comes out of you is who you are and what you're about, right?
What
What
am
it
I about?
is
What am I
the
about?
real.
You're an interesting fellow. You're a seeker. I don't know enough. We haven't talked about enough subjects to be able to pinpoint you, but you're on here. You're trying to solve a mystery. You're interested in something that's messing with our heads. So we're all kind of probably about the same thing in some sense.
Yeah, all
We're
I want to do
supposed
is
to be
I just
telepathic.
I just want to I just want to figure it out.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
tired of I'm tired of not knowing. I the government won't tell me, so I got to
No.
figure it out.
No. And I've been an
Maybe they
artist,
will.
so I'm attracted to all the, and with my mother's architectural tours all the time when I was growing up, like I'm the same. What is going on here? Right.
Yeah, I
And you,
mean, from the beginning of my life, I've always wondered why am I here?
yeah. Yeah.
That's been my I never asked like where's my ice cream? Where's like I don't care about those things. Why am I here?
Well,
Like
well,
seriously. And
when I was,
now we got all this shit happening on the East Coast.
oh yeah.
I don't know. Like what am I
Well,
supposed to say?
mysteries and secrets are lies. So it's probably criminal based, what's going on.
So you think it's all human?
Yeah.
What it
People.
is
People. Yeah.
I've been trying to say this for a little bit, so let me get it out. We're all telepathic, and then whoever they are, separated us and told us that we had to speak different languages and that we were all different when we should just be able to speak to each other with our minds. Okay, go ahead.
Right. That's the Babel, right? That's the story of the Babylon. Babble, 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 and we're all just
I want
babbling
to
and
learn all
nobody's.
the languages, but I don't need to.
You
You
can't
don't
hear
need
me.
to. We got translator
I
apps.
just tried to speak with you telepathically, and you didn't hear me.
There's too much going on right now. I have to be focused. But yeah, it's been dumbed down out of us.
You still
But what
didn't.
happens? What happens when you focus on all the peace, life, increase words and you use all the words, the lower half of the words you use to teach what not to be, and then as you live in the high vibration words, your vibration goes up, and you literally will be able to walk through a mall and look somebody in the eye, and you'll read each other.
I think
Like
Yeah,
it
I
turn
literally.
can
into the
already do
water.
that. I've been
Yeah,
able to do
yeah,
that
yeah,
since I was a kid.
yeah, yeah.
Me
I
too.
I, I
I was so
it's
scared though.
A lot of
no,
people are
I can
turned
do that
off,
since
right?
I was a kid.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of people's switches are off, though. You can see that for sure.
yeah, but I've been able to do that forever.
Right on, right on.
It's easy to judge people. It's
Well,
not judging. It's more like
profiling.
yeah, okay, sure.
That's why too. I guess when we look at pictures in these old buildings and stuff, we're trying to match. Like the profile doesn't match the background kind of thing. Like what's going on here?
So what is it?
What is what?
What is everything?
Well, it's all
Dr.
it's a
Jill
scrap.
Briska. Oh, I'm
Well,
just want to
why
shout
have we
out
not
Dr.
understood? They couldn't have built that shit in the 1970s
No.
or the 1950s,
I can't
right?
build it
So
now.
we're supposed to believe that every high school was built in 1950 or 1940. Are we supposed to
Hi,
believe that?
Nicole and Ascender.
But they're beautiful. They're
Oh yeah.
beautiful, like structures.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
no, I can't say that that's not true.
Well, they're messing with our heads for some reason.
Did they just want to spend
Sick of
more
it.
money back then?
I don't know.
Yeah.
If we knew what we were
Look at
capable of, that might be an issue.
look at the Washington Monument. Look at
Well, the problem with a lot of it is there's no construction pictures, right?
Capitol. Well, the Capitol building got destroyed in the war, right?
Look at that.
In the 1800s, 1880s, it was destroyed, right? It was
That's
lit
what
on
they
fire.
said.
The whole thing burned down,
Yeah.
but we rebuilt it somehow with carts and horses. We didn't have
A lot of
cars back then.
A lot of these claimed buildings, even if they had a fire that didn't destroy the building, they would have insurance from a fake, like, they're the insurance company, they're the pretenders, the Masons, that the free, home of the free, and the free Masons, so everything was free. They just founded
I
these
heard that
buildings and said it was there. So then they insure
1776.
it, and then they take a bunch of money out of, so there's a reason for these fires. And if you see a fire, always check if it was under restructuring that, if they were fixing it then, if they were remodeling and refurbishing the building, that's always when the fire happens, because they're always inside jobs. They always have guys inside setting off bombs. They're not fires.
My hop.
And why are those buildings always the shelters, right? They're always the bomb shelters. Like, if you see a Freemason building in your city, it's a bomb shelter. Do you know that?
It's good to know.
It's true.
I heard that 1776 is actually when they put everything together for the quote unquote Illuminati. And we're all sitting here going, 1776. Anyway.
Yeah, they did both.
That I've been thinking
They did
about.
both.
Explain that.
Oh, both is good.
It's been a parallel.
Wait, say that again. Explain that.
Well, I just heard it today. I haven't had a chance to research into it, but they were talking about all what was going on with the wars. I was watching Alex Jones today, like I do almost every day, but they say that's when they signed the Declaration of Independence, but when they signed that, it was signed secretly to activate it for the bad guys. And I also learned today that apparently Benjamin Franklin had this house and they excavated it recently and they found a bunch of bodies of kids. And that's all I have to say about that.
Who are the bad guys that you're talking about?
The Bavarian Illuminati, the Satanists, the Luciferians.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It is,
That's a thing.
unfortunately.
The Luciferians?
Yep.
From
And it has been ever since,
Well, that's your
Bible
shadow
times.
government.
Can I ask a question? Who are the people that those guys that they're like they take care of
Are you
the
thinking of the Jesuits? Because
no
that's
they
what I
they
feel like you're
take care
talking
of the
about.
Vatican. They're like the Vatican's like guard.
I forget what you call it.
Yeah, who are those guys?
The Jesuit priests.
The Jesuits. See, I read your mind,
I
Golden
don't think
Bigfoot.
they're Jesuits. No,
It's the Jesuits.
no,
See?
they're not. No, they're not. They're from Denmark
sure.
or
Well,
they're
there are
Dutch.
Vatican guards that are sort of medieval that stand
Vatican
on.
guards. They wear the cross on their chest.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
What are they
it's kind of
called?
like
Somebody look that up, will you?
they're kind of symbolic, like
Eddie,
the
where are you with your AI?
British guards.
Yeah, those guys. I think that's the. I mean,
Well,
I
part of the
really
same
think that
system, right?
those guys are the ones that are the heat of the battle, right? I mean, those
Well,
guys
Are you
are like,
thinking of like the Knights Templar?
yeah, but of course. But what are they called now?
I
They
think they just
protect
call them the Vatican Guard.
the Vatican Guard, yeah,
Yeah.
but they're not from the Vatican, or nor are they from Italy. They're from uh, another country. They're from Denmark, right?
Somebody, not anonymous, neutral. I was going to say.
Yeah, they're from a different. Somebody look that up, will you? Yeah, it's they're totally like, and they wear the red coat with a white cross on it.
The Rosicrucians?
I think they're called the Small Guard or something like that. They're in Geneva. They're the same place that CERN is, the same place as the New World
Switzerland.
Order,
Yeah,
World
they're from
Economic Forum, and
Switzerland.
they're
And that's why
which is
Switzerland
also
is
the
neutral,
League of
because it's the
Nations.
home base.
Yeah, they're from
Yeah, President Woodrow
Switzerland.
Wilson started the League of Nations. 1776, the Illuminati was
Yes, they
created in
were just
Bavaria. The
talking about
Illuminati
that
tried
today,
to
Bill.
recruit Masons. They're the illuminated ones. They were the knowledge people that had probably some secret knowledge, and they tried to recruit Masons. And there was an anti-Mason party in the early Americas, and
I'd
there's the
like to join
Oddfellows,
it.
the Illuminati, and those are three secret societies we know. So they're probably all hustling
Where is
for
that
somebody
building?
else. I
Please
think this
tell me
one's in
where that
India,
building is. It looks like
Vecchia.
That looks
yeah,
Indian or Thai.
Yeah, as far as
African
structures
or
and architecture go, India does win. India is
I don't know.
insane.
Thai is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
bet.
So if the problem with the world is that it's all connected. Um, there are pyramids in Egypt. There are pyramids in South America. There are pyramids in
We had
real
pyramids
South
here,
America.
they say.
There are
Some of these
pyramids
mountains are
in
really
Yep.
pyramids.
apparently in Antarctica. There's pyramids. There's pyramids everywhere. And then
Here,
this
there,
kind of
everywhere
stuff
pyramid.
where it's intricately like carved. You could look at like Thailand. You could look India. You could look at like South America, and they're all. It's insane. How did they all do that without being able to go across the ocean? Because back then we weren't supposed to be able to go across the ocean.
We're still not supposed to go in there. They don't want us in there.
Yeah, I don't think that's our true history. I
No,
think that there's been
and then you think about Easter Island, right? And
yeah,
Easter Island, the deeper they dig, those fucking things they just keep going down.
Oh, the
yeah,
giant
pretty
books.
cool.
Yep.
They
And the
don't
giant
stop.
books, yeah.
So
I love the giant
they're
books.
like I don't think they've found the bottom of one.
Nope.
Have they found the bottom of one yet?
I think so. I think they've called out a couple at about 40 feet, like 4 stories.
Does it have feet?
I think so, yeah.
Oh. Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
pretty primitive. Like the whole thing is pretty primitive.
And not a one tree on the entire island.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking idiots.
Well, again,
There's
buried,
too much
right?
of it to discern.
Yeah, it's all buried again. So there's some kind of major geological shift that's happening to shift that amount of material. There's ancient cities at the bottom of the ocean, so the land has moved drastically. I know there was I don't know if it's true or not, but the at the top of the Mississippi when there was an earthquake there back in the was it 1800s or and the river switched directions and things
What
pretty.
if
There was a big mud flood through there.
but what if that was built underwater? No,
Hey, what's
seriously.
up, Urbanus?
Question.
No,
legitimate.
Ladies
seriously.
and
So,
gentlemen, coming to the stage, we have Kino. Welcome to the panel. I'm very excited to talk to you. And Robinus, nice to finally actually talk to you in person, so to speak.
Uh, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, what's
Oh,
up? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm enjoying the
Yeah,
conversation.
welcome. Sure,
Thank you.
sure. How are you feeling?
We need to let some other people have the
Pretty good.
floor.
Can't
Yeah, all
complain.
good. Yeah, you might even have more standing by. I got a couple of things I got to work on. It's been awesome. I'll hit you
We
a
have none
few
standing
hearts
by.
there. None standing by.
It
I
was really
still, I
great
got to,
talking to you.
yeah, I'll check back in with you. I'll follow you on YouTube here soon, and it's
It's
been amazing.
Limbs. Thank you
Yeah,
so
we'll
Yeah,
much.
time
figure
well
it out. We'll
spent.
figure it out.
Absolutely, bro.
Okay, have a good one.
I like your style. I like the cut of your jib.
You too. Peace. Awesome.
Peace.
Rubes,
Peace.
what's up, Rubes? How are you, my friend?
I like your
I'm
beard.
okay. Yeah,
Good,
you
man. We're doing
promoted. Yes.
Rabanus is a friend of mine personally, and we've gone back and forth where there might be some timelines merging with some of these
Amazing.
scenarios because we swear in the 90s we weren't any smarter and we didn't know none. But
I've been
nevertheless, how are
seeing
you, Rabanus?
Rabanus around for a long time.
Love you. Mm, what he's referring to is that I don't remember. So we, as beings, we tend to remember like our past lives, or just like we just have like a faint remember, like things resonate with us, right? And I swear, I have seen all in the '90s growing up. I had family who was conspiracy theories. I've never heard enough of it. It's true. I'm not gonna say it's incorrect. And like, the structures and everything, it makes sense to me. It's just that was never brought to my attention. It's not so much brought too much my attention. It didn't exist in my timeline at that point. And
Where'd you
then
grow
now
up?
it's coming up. New York.
Where did you grow up?
New York.
New York City?
Yes.
Like Manhattan?
Queens.
I've been there.
Queens? Okay.
And yourself?
And you're in Colorado, right, Golden Bigfoot? You're pretty close to me.
Yeah. I just so he's got a lot more history around him than I do.
Right. When you were talking about the bomb shelters, yes, that is absolutely correct.
Yeah, I mean,
Those Mason.
seriously, if you think about it, like every bomb shelter has the Mason thing on it.
Yes, the
Yeah.
effigy.
Crazy.
Isn't that weird?
What do
No,
you think, Kino?
not to me anyway.
I mean, it's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I think of course, it's previously built um, before the takeover, I guess. And those
What
buildings were built exceptionally.
what
Uh,
what takeover?
I mean, we talking about in America, right? Here.
Yeah, but there's no takeover. That's not in history.
Okay, I know. That's the whole thing. So, okay, TPs. Y'all believe that like everybody over here was like living in TPs?
Yeah,
Is it?
No.
that's why we took over the land. Yeah.
Yeah. You see now, that's the thing. So all of his story um is accepted when it comes to those things. But then we see that there's a barrage of lies. Like it's just lie after lie after lie. Oh, there go the people with the cross on
Is
their
that
chest.
Rasputin?
Well, you have to tell what the lies were.
Yeah, well, I mean, for one,
Hey, this is my live, and I say, Kino, please just take the floor and just speak your piece right now. Feel free to just take your time and flow, brother. Just respect space.
Thank you.
yeah, no, I'm not even tripping. I'm not even trying to do that. I'm just making a point on the surface of it. I'm not really trying to. I had a long day, but I ran into y'all having this conversation. It's my first time, and I was enjoying it and asked to come on the stage. So But as
Yeah,
far
I
as
requested. I'm glad you're here.
yeah, and I appreciate it. Um, but I just it's like I'm what you call a Negro, right? Uh, it's like saying we came over here on slave ships. They brought
Nope,
a million of us here on wooden ships at the bottom of them. That don't make it doesn't make sense.
it didn't happen.
Yeah, I know. So
No, I know you know.
yeah, so
I'm Irish, and they said 6 million people left Ireland, and 4 million came to America, and 2 million went to Australia. I've done research, look for the boats, look for the shipping yards, look for all the stuff, the minutes, the vows of
Hey,
the.
it's
It's
fun.
not true either.
Let him
There's no way
talk. Let,
that
let him
happened either.
let him finish his sentence.
oh no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm good for now. I'm good. I like listening sometimes, man. I be talking a lot sometimes. Like on Clubhouse and
But you were saying something about all the buildings, right?
yeah.
What's up?
They were previously built and they were built better, like you guys were saying. I mean, so that's why they make them bomb shelters, and the Masons put their name on it, or their symbols and whatnot. But that wasn't built. I'm saying as far as the takeover, as far as America, this place wasn't called America before. What's his name? Vespucci, I believe, a map maker.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Amerigo
that's a weak story.
Vespucci.
Yeah, you're right. It's fun.
Yeah. So wait, somebody said that's a weak story.
Amerigo Vespucci. Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, like a merry-go-round. Hey, where do you think this buildings are? Can you read that little word in the bottom where this is in 1800? Shanghai. You think
Oh
this was
wow.
going on in Shanghai in the 19th century?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, those look like 1960s, 1970s buildings.
Right, the Art Deco style.
Yeah, that's
Very
just
popular in New York, but also popular in Shanghai on the other side of the planet, I guess.
it looks like shit. That's
I went
why.
to
It's
the
very
Shanghai
Matrix
tunnels
style.
in
It's very
Portland.
square.
Yeah, it looks horrible. No, seriously. Now show me something that was made in 1800, and I'll tell you, it's gonna be fucking beautiful. I don't care what it is. An apartment building made in 1800. Just Google it. It's gonna be fucking beautiful. But this,
Here's a pretty building.
yeah, you
This is
see,
the Flatiron Building in New York.
I know, yeah,
Great.
John Wick, right?
And who
That's
the
all
heck is
John.
that up top?
That's all
So
John Wick.
when they built that,
Uh,
and did it take like
18.
6 months?
Yeah, how the fuck did
It's
they
one of
build
those,
that
it
in
was after
1870?
1900, but yes, it was one of those things like a year, maybe 16 months. In the winter, no electricity, no power tools, no, you know what I mean? Just
And hang
chisels,
on, they
these
built that
craftsmen.
during the Civil War,
This building is currently empty.
but they
No,
built
no.
that during the
What?
Civil War, or just right after the Civil War. How
Come
did that
on.
happen?
How nobody saw all these things? Why are they claiming
I
the
know.
that's, like what magic did they use on people? I know
No,
people would,
like,
huh?
just so the Empire State Building. What year was that built?
I guess they
1836, I think.
they tamper
Or
with time a lot. They
so,
tamper.
during the
Never
height
know.
of the uh, what was it called? The what happened in the 1830s? Shit, I mean, nobody had any money.
You talking about the Great Reset?
That was 1930.
I thought you said 1930.
I
What?
said
Can't
1830.
end.
1931, the Empire State Building was built in 13 months. The tallest building on the planet was built in 13 months, 2 years after the Great Depression kicked in 1929. Underneath everybody's eyes, this building just popped right
How?
up, and no one noticed it get a building. There's no construction
How?
photos of it, and there'd be. Because it
How?
was already there. It was already there,
No.
man. Of
But
course it
how did
was.
they do that during the Great Depression when nobody had any money?
How did they do what they did to Florida? How do they do what they just did to North Carolina? How do they do what they just did to Ohio with the train? Like, they're doing it right now still. Nothing stopped. How do they do it then the way they do it now?
Does any of it make any sense?
Yes, to me it does.
How? How did they do this?
How did who do what now?
The Empire State Building, during the Great
The Empire State Building
Already
was
existed.
not built in a year. I don't condone
During
the
the
idea
Great
that this building was
Depression.
built in a year with chisels.
Hey, brother.
1931, actually. So yeah,
Most of it was probably there already.
Some of it was there. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of it was.
it was there. The whole thing
Some
was
of
there.
it. But who
And
was
then the
making
back
the
of the buildings
steel?
that are all there too. This building,
Hang
this
on.
background
Who
is
was making the
whitewashed.
steel?
It's a vanilla sky.
Who was making the steel? Who was making the rivets? Who was making the everything else? I mean, who was making that stuff?
Well, the narrative storyline all came from Philadelphia, Pittsburgh Steelers. It came from steel mills, and they say in the Empire State Building, all the steel still arrived warm. All the steel for the train tracks that were built in 6 years, all the Intercontinental Railroad that was built in 6 years, it's all already here completely, and it was repopulated. And they told us we had been here for hundreds of years when we had not.
Okay. Can I ask you guys a question here? Does anyone
Please.
know about like polygonal masonry or cyclopean masonry? Like
Sorry, say that again. I didn't.
polygonal masonry or cyclopean masonry, to where we used to be thousands upon thousands of years ago, an actual world society, to where
Yeah, I don't believe that we are who we think we are. I think we are exactly like that building suggests. I think that we got fucked somehow years ago.
Wait, explain that in detail.
Well, I think that something happened maybe in the 70s, and they just reset everyone. Because that's what high schools look like to me now. But the new high schools, they look like shit. It doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you do this? But I know I already said that. But why does
It boggles the mind.
why does my city capital look like your city capital? And why does our city capital look like the capital from the government? Right? The federal government capital is the same
In all the states.
in all the states. And how do they build those? Like, how do you build a dome with carts and horses and
You don't.
cows?
There was something else that got scrubbed from the what's the word?
Like, I
Lexicon.
understand a pitched roof. You can make a pitched roof, but not a full dome. I mean,
History is claimed by the victors.
Yep, he wrote his story.
yeah, the victors take the soil.
I like it.
The pen is mighty.
Well, things are turning around.
No, not yet. We still don't know history.
It's gonna come back.
I don't give a fuck about the future. I want to know history.
Yeah, we that's the future. History is coming. Well, before history,
Turning the corner.
come back.
Turn
truth.
around.
Every now and then I get a little bit terrified. It's gonna be okay though. We can't wallow in the just how screwed up the fuckery
It's
is.
about to get real though. It's about to get real. Wait till Trump get in office.
Yeah, but I still want to know the fucking. Okay, then they still won't.
Maybe he'll release all of that.
They still won't tell us the fucking truth about the drones.
Yes.
Those aren't drones. Like,
what are they?
I don't know. There's a
Piloted craft.
But they won't.
That we made.
Tell us. They won't tell us about anything.
But they told us.
Today, Trump urged them to. Go ahead.
They told us that these things are not.
Democrats are just like
not,
whatever.
They're not
fuck you guys. You're just peons. You're just
Are you getting like aggressive on here? I might have to mute you just for a second to calm down.
No, I believe he was talking about the hierarchy.
No, I'm just saying like the Democrats are just saying like, they could do whatever they want. You know, they're
Not
just
for
like
much longer. I'm ready to fight. I don't know about you guys. I'm not trying to incite anything. Just like a very gentle.
Are you gonna do face
revolution.
paint? You gotta do face paint. You gotta do
Like
face
how?
paint. I don't know.
Like
red,
warrior stripes?
black,
Like William
green.
Wallace, maybe?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Like you gotta do face paint.
Football stripes with the William Wallace mullet.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna fight, you gotta do face paint.
I don't have anything to lose, honestly. I'm ready to just stand up and fight.
Yeah, me
know
too.
about
I'm ready to go.
What are you fighting against,
Well,
though?
The idiocy,
raging against the dying of the light.
The fake news. Like I'm just tired of.
What are you fighting
I'm
against?
so tired of being lied to.
All right.
No.
Well, they did lie, but I got something to help.
Think about what
It gets
How many times have we been lied to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
once, just once, one big lie. So look at, just humor me, fellas. You guys like this Capitol building?
People being
How
lied
many
to?
times have we been lied to?
It's because they don't think that.
At least once.
human beings
Hey,
have
Will.i.am, how are you, buddy?
Question.
Because they
How
sit
many
on
times?
TikTok all day.
How many times have we been lied to?
well, I saw this
Bro.
very capital. that,
Seriously,
like,
how many
old-
times? Just answer the question. How
Man,
many times have we been lied
Well,
to?
you know,
Y'all, listen, man. Hold on, man.
Well,
you're triggering me for alcohol. I'm an
But-
alcoholic.
Yeah,
I don't
right,
like
me
drinking,
too.
so you're triggering me, bro.
Dude, I think maybe you
I
should
think
sit
that
down into the comments.
all the
Go
other
ahead, Courtney. Courtney, you are my moderator. Courtney, make decisions when you need to.
I'm sorry.
So does
you
anybody
sound
know
a
where
little
this Capitol
aggressive.
building
you
is
didn't have
from?
a little timeout, boy.
Hey, can I just say
That's,
something real quick? I just got here, and I literally just came in the room.
Absolutely. Hey, Will.
Yeah, hey, sorry, Eddie. I won't be here long. I find it.
That's cool, man. How you doing?
Hi, Will.
Hello. Very flippin' weird. Very flippin' weird. Although
It's been weird the whole time. I've been watching.
well, it's not even weird. It's normal anymore. And the weird part is the fact that I don't know who said it, but they said they're ready to like William Wallace. That's literally my name. and
I was saying that half joking, but not really.
no, I know you were. I know. I'm just saying the synchronicity of it. Eddie had sent the invite and said,
There's been a lot of freaking
Eyes in the
synchronicities
sky.
tonight, my guys.
yeah, it was just that's just a little too weird. Eddie had sent the invite saying reset contemplation. I had just woken up from a dream that I won't speak on just yet, but to even hear the name, because you don't hear it very often, was just very strange.
Yeah.
They can take our. It's very much so like that. You know, they took our land, but you know exactly. But let's play a quiz game. What state capitol building is this?
Who is talking?
Is that the capital
What
of
state capitol
Florida?
building is this? Nope. This building is in Cuba.
Cuba.
What state capitol building is this? What state cap? Oh, wrong. It's
Trivia
in
Monday.
San Juan, Puerto Rico. Where's this
Lovely.
capitol building? Where's this capitol building? Do you think it's in America? No, of
I'll
course not.
never
This one
guess.
is in Dominican Republic. They're all over the planet. It's not United States. They're not capitol buildings. They're just
And they all
worldwide
look the
constructed
same.
buildings.
Why? We're just starting to unravel
'Cause-
this shit.
I don't know.
And I wonder what they're built on top of.
That's the whole thing, you know, when these buildings get torn down and they rebuild on top of them, like the Madison Square Garden, the tunnel entrances to obviously the most municipal systematics. Yeah, absolute, bro.
I think
That's
he's
why
saying
the
ley lines.
ones that didn't get destroyed.
He's saying ley lines, isn't he?
It's like they were 3D printed by whom? The big eye in the sky. Like that Simpsons episode where they have the petri dish that's turned into a whole civilization.
They're just access. Yeah.
I am Will.i.am.
Yes, sir.
Are you on Clubhouse?
I'm not sure what that is.
I've
Okay.
never heard of that.
Never mind. It's just a.
Oh wait, wait. Are you thinking I'm the Scottish guy, the other I am Will.i.am that's on this app?
There's a lot of people with that name.
I'm not sure, but somebody just friended me. Sent a request, I accepted, and he had your name. I am Will.
It's very. I mean, I am William Wallace. At least on the piece of paper they give you when you get here. But there's another gentleman on this app who's Scottish and with the same name. And for a good 6-7 months that I was on this app, I would go into lives and people would talk to me before I
There's
would
a
even.
British one too.
Well, you might be.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Everyone.
I finally was able to connect with him, but yeah, I'm not him.
Well,
I
sure,
am.
but no, I wasn't
You know
thinking
what's the
that.
interesting thing is,
I don't be on this that much. I don't know people like that, like talking about it.
Yeah. I did, Eddie. I did slide into your live a little earlier when you were on specifically when you were on the Madison Square Garden part. Yeah, ley lines, because it's a whole new world.
Yeah, ley lines are energy sources on the planet, and it was given to a certain group of people to understand these things, and they built, and then I guess colonializers and who's ever Confederate with them built on top of it. And I'm curious why. I think it was you, Will, who was saying, "I wonder what's underneath them, or what's built." Who was saying
Yeah.
that? That was you.
And more than just just more than what's underneath them, what's inside of us, and in specific ones, because I fell into a TikTok that really resonated about essentially like a Faraday cage built around our pineal gland. And
Oh my God, that just happened. I just heard that today. Who was saying that? I just heard that today, Will.
yeah, and just kind of in a divine timing, falling.
It was Coach Tommy. Do you know of Coach Tommy? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
I don't know Coach Tommy specifically. It was a lady. Well, her name was
We saw the same thing.
Ilaria Morningstar. Yeah, a lot of us are having the same algorithms on purpose. I think it's not.
They're like, don't you guys see? We're trying to tell you.
It's not telling you. It's preparation. It's something you already always knew. It's something a lot of us already knew. It was inside of us the whole time. It's just for a divine timing, and things are coming.
Yeah, buddy.
We've already seen them coming. But as far as the one that said, "I'm ready to fight," I think a lot of us already are. It's just a different type of fight. It's spiritual. It's digital. There's no coincidence that this app is called TikTok. Sounds like the sound a clock makes, and upside down and mirrored. The symbol is a Q, as in quantum. So a whole lot of us chosen one. I think everyone's chosen. Just one must choose, and there's just things inside of us because we are divinely designed, and there's a lot of stories that might have us looking at other things as being the thing when the whole time we were the thing, and it's just a matter of rising up and being willing to look past the ego and a whole lot of stuff out there that can distract us, and realizing that this entire thing is about you. Everything you could possibly want to know is inside of you. It's just learning and remembering how to access that information, and for something more is coming. But
it's kind of down, and then they confuse you.
William Wallace with the home run. Nice, dude.
Yeah. You know what interesting is? I knew months ago that this okay, some of them are orbs, some of them are freaking beings, international beings, some of them are actual
I was just saying this, Urbanus.
And you know the thing is, yeah, I already knew that they were going to come, and the fact is that it's really not to like scare people or cause dismay. What it is, it's literally to open people's minds to a possibility of another reality, of another existence, because it's already here, just like what you guys are talking about here. So
always has been. I feel like it's also just
it's not that simple. They here for
simple.
They're here for a different how could I put it, type of reset. You're talking about with the government. Before I speak, wait, hold up. I just want to say, if you're talking about what the government is telling us, it's not a threat, but they won't tell us what it is.
No, I don't care about that. We know what it is. No. What we're talking about is the convergence of realities, the convergence of timelines. That's what we're talking about, and the evolution.
You're talking about over time, actually,
of human evolution or the ascension evolution.
Okay, well, you got y'all. I was just about to ask about 3 or 4 questions.
Okay,
so with what Will had said, no, because I need to know how much time has man been here then? You know, as far as like what, like, because we're putting all this stuff together that and, like, everybody is the chosen, and you know, we just got to choose and this and that. and what are we here for, and you know, like people. Because okay, I've been talking about this type of stuff since, and still, it's
This
almost
picture.
like, yeah, that's like a fourth, huh? They must have blew that
I'm
one
so
up.
sorry.
Star
You're
Fourth.
so inspiring to me. I don't mean to talk over you. I'm going to put my ass on mute.
Hey, well, maybe the Earth is up to the top of it now, and you know what I mean? So, like, the level of the ground we know changes. So, maybe, who knows? I don't know. This is a drawing and an epitaph.
This
But yeah, star forts, mostly the United States of America, North America has the most star forts than anywhere on the planet.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. So that's like a particular people did this, made star forts, made the serpent mounds, made the pyramid, the material that the pyramids are made out of.
What if it was
Here,
you? What if it was you?
huh?
What if it was you?
What if it was me?
What if it was you?
Come on.
Um,
Come on.
you talking about
Come
like
on,
in
do
a
it.
past life?
There you go.
Yeah. What if we're
Um,
back? What if we're back with a redo, with a do over, with an
I'm
opportunity to
I'm
make right?
sure it. I'm sure it was. My people was here already. When Columbus was looking, well, Christopher Colon, after
Mhm.
after the other conquistadors already kind of did some things. Uh, Columbus
Oh wow, yeah.
Columbus
The Ferris wheel.
Columbus basically was said he was looking for India, and there was no India. It was Hindustan. It wasn't even called India. So everything is a lie. And then he had Hebrew speaking people with him.
Who lied?
Um, I think it's a confederacy. Like I keep saying, it's a bunch of nations, a bunch of groups that all kind of conspired to take down uh, a certain civilization that had things popping all over the planet for a long time. It's kind of like dealing with it it's not the same thing, but like with what's his name, Gilgamesh, Nimrod, and like somebody mentioned earlier
Yes.
about babbling. Now, I think that the way y'all were talking about it was basically like allegory. Like it's only like a story we can learn from. It never really happened
I like
type
the
thing.
I like
Who
the
said
word
that?
I like the word metaphor
Oh man,
specifically because it's got meta in it.
I think it's literal though. I think it's literal because that same language, like I said, Columbus had the same language. And then even if you go and watch that movie, I never watched it, but I saw commercials and certain things that I needed from it. And he used the book of Esdras, Second Esdras, to find this place, and they were looking for some people who were claimed lost. And I mean they put this in a movie, so they put a lot of stuff in movies. Y'all know that, right?
They did.
Hollywood, the Jews. Columbus was a Jew. You know, in fact, Columbus was actually a dark-skinned man. You know, he was a highly melanated person.
Are
He
you
wasn't.
are you really here? Are we really here?
Are we really here? Yeah, we really here, but are our minds really here?
I like that. I like that you switched it like that. But I guess right, the mind, the monad, the beautiful mind, and how malleable it can be, and how we can put it to sleep when we want to play because we just
Exactly.
want to have fun. But I mean, the they. I don't necessarily subscribe to the they. I don't care what nationality or culture, or gender, or color. It's like it's the spirit. I'm not my hair. I'm not my skin. I'm the spirit that lives within. But duality here in this existence with the positives and the negatives and the moms and the dads and the sun and the moon and the left and the right, the black and the white and the gay and the straight and the Republican and the Democrat. It's like all divides. It's like, but there's a balance. There's a way to exist in the middle and remember who you are and where you are and what you are. And that if we really were
But
going to bring heaven to earth, we
but
needed to know who we were. And the only way that the tree could grow, the only way we could collect the leaves is for the tree to grow. And Mama knew that. Go ahead.
Will,
Yeah.
what they did to my people we can't remember. Like we had to wait till a certain time to get remembered. And we actually, like I'm saying, I woke up to a lot of, well, first of all, my whole life been crazy, right? Dreams, all this type of stuff, everything y'all spoke of. That's why I said I was enjoying the conversation. But it's really on another level because I don't know how to explain it. But so long story short, I woke up in 2017 with that eclipse that first happened. And then by 2018, I was understanding to wait on an X, wait on the eclipse that just came on the first of Aviv, which is really the first month of the year when everything is anew. You don't get a new year in the dead of winter,
What did you
right?
see in the eclipse?
I didn't even deal with it like that. I don't. You know, I saw people post things though, saying they saw different. I saw something on the moon the other day in my yard. I live in a very rural area, and like the moon was. I found after I saw what I saw that they said the moon was the closest that it's been to the Earth in, I don't know. I don't forgot what it said, but like so many years. And I saw like a indenture in the moon, like
Mhm.
like a whole chip missing or something, or you know. And I don't know, but see, I keep my Sabbaths off of the celestial bodies. I don't keep time like anybody on the planet. To be honest with you, I don't keep time like the Jews over there in the fake Israel people over there. I don't keep time like the Gregorian or the Muslims or anybody. Keep time
How do you keep
like
time exactly?
I think
Because
my
for me,
that's the
time is circular, or like actually not circular, but like it presents itself to me as a globe, to where you have access to all time at the
spherical.
same time.
It's spherical. It's some type of spherical uh passage of bodies that
Mhm.
brings forth time. But that exactly, like the calendar is up in the heavens. It's like Braille, but you you you
Calendar
gotta
phonetically sounds like calendar, and time ends with me, Time. But we needed to get her. Like I said, Mama knew. Mama knew to collect the leaves the tree had to grow. It had to be this way. We had to go through this the way that we did. It's like we're watching a movie, and no good movie doesn't have a bad guy. There has to be. There had to be all these events, all these experiences. We have chakras. We have feelings. We think that we feel, but we had to, because if we were going to bring heaven to earth, we had to remember who we were. Remember her. Read.
Mama knew that's African or like uh,
I'm a noodle.
roots, isn't it?
The song, yeah, or the band, yeah.
Oh, man.
Roots, yeah.
So
Roots,
All right,
truth,
so Kino, what you just said made me kind of realize we measure time two-dimensionally when time is probably three-dimensional or more. So maybe like if I think of a small ball getting into like a big ball, and then a small ball three-dimensional, that's not a great example of time, but it's probably not the way that we look at it.
uh who's talking? I keep hearing the voice.
That was
Who
me,
is
your lovely host, Eddie O. And if I can get some likes, shares down there in the comments, it's Christmas. Let's hit it with the gifts, guys. Follow me on my link tree in the bio. Follow my YouTube channel, and make sure you're following everyone up here in the panel as well. But time is a three-dimensional matter or more. So when we measure it two-dimensionally, a flat clock face, it's kind of it doesn't. Yeah, I see where you're going, but I don't more. Give me
No,
more.
I'm talking about like a calendar, like my days. That's why I was talking about the Sabbath. Like every 7 day, uh, I keep a Sabbath. So I don't keep a Sabbath like the Christian church does or the Muslims would do
Do you
or
use your
whoever.
13 calendar then, or
The
13
what?
month calendar?
No,
And
that's
months
not.
is moon, 13 moons, 13 months.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
not.
Demucho.
learned that the Sabbath is actually Saturday, and I've been working on Saturday and not working on Sunday this whole time.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's not. It's not any of that. It's not any of that
As above,
at
so
all.
below.
Yeah, it's as above, so below. And you have to be woken up to understand this. And I mean, look, y'all, I didn't go to school for this. As a matter of fact, I couldn't learn it from
Yeah.
nobody else.
It's Christian based. A lot of
It has to be sent. No, it's not Christian based.
It's
The
Christ.
Christian
It's
had
Christian.
this.
Okay.
It's Christ in. It's Christ. It's Christ. It's Christ.
No.
Christianity is Christ insanity. It's Christian. It's Christ in. It's the Christ within.
They were mocking his followers in Antioch, and they said, you know, you waiting on a savior, right? And I mean, or the Grecian spoke the way they spoke. It was Christos or Christ. You know, you're waiting on a Christ, a savior. So they were mocking them.
If you're waiting on something, then you never remember who you are, and that you were always the thing you were waiting on. But a lot of people forgot and don't remember that they're the ones they're waiting on.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's
The
true
access
to
to
an
the ether
extent.
is way out there. I am enjoying it.
Look at that door, man. Who's that door for?
Guys.
Is that like one of them portals that the Pope want to open?
Baron Trump.
The word portal means door. So I think the big cathedrals with the big cathedrals or whatnot that they call churches now, I think those were portals. You walk in one, you come out another somewhere else on the planet.
They help.
Not now, but
Those portals are
maybe.
inspired.
Well, why did they build CERN if they had that?
Black hole, CERN.
They're trying to find a certain portal, I think. They're trying to find like all the
They
gotta
found
fake
that.
it.
evil shit.
You're talking about the God particle, but look, let me ask y'all a question. When CERN first popped up, I was actually like watching them do this. Some kind of way, I was given this like a I was just sent to this thing while they were doing it. Right? Did y'all see the rituals that they did before they opened it?
Sure, they had to scare you.
Look at that statue out there. And then the guy
Yes,
was
I
making a
saw that.
horse
They
and
were
he
real weird.
passed away while making the horse
That
out of
was
metal.
weird.
Come on. Shiva, stop it.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to hear everybody, man. Go one at a time.
Shiva, that's who they're the goddess of destruction in the Hindu religion.
Hinduism
That's who they're
created
praying.
Hinduism created Christianity.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a huge path right there from Hinduism to Christianity. And anyone that practices Hinduism will let you know for sure. But it's true. It's highly, highly accurate. But not to get lost, so there was a horse that they were making, a horse with red eyes, like one of a Behold the Pale White Horse statue. He's making out of flash metal, and the guy was making it right when he was almost done. One of the pieces of metal boinked off the horse
That's at the
body
Denver
and cut him.
airport.
And oh, that was at Denver Airport. These are still sacrifices
Yeah,
and
I've
rituals,
seen it.
I think. The whole
There's a
CERN
lot of
thing.
weird shit there.
There's a Geneva in the United States of America with a Hadron Collider as well.
There's lots
Well,
of
there's
them.
in America. There's a bunch in America.
Yeah,
They
right.
sometime, and ever so often, and the one in Switzerland, I think it is in France, is the biggest one on the planet. It
So it's
goes.
Geneva. So it's also
Geneva.
that city we were talking about earlier about that small army of the Vatican, and because of the
Yeah, that's where it says
man, it was the beginning of the New World Order, Economic World Forum, the national, what is it called, Courtney? United Nations is there. It's like the whole, that is definitely like Star Forts, right? So they found these places to put in these fake things. Maybe, I'm not sure that they're doing, but yeah, it's something with there's a line, just like the stars are like a musical going by. You ever see like paper that goes in the player piano? It's got the holes in it. That's like stars moving in the sky.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So the correlation between CERN and the Mandela effect is something that everyone should look into, because they turned on CERN in 2008, I believe, and the Mandela effect when they started shifting realities
Why?
unexpectedly. Why?
Mhm.
Why did they start shifting? Oh,
Why? No, no. You said shifting to start shifting realities. Why?
Oh yeah, no. To actually make the best timeline for themselves, and to make them have all the power, and it backfired, obviously.
Well, that's why the Pope said he needs to open up 5 portals. But that's why I asked
Christmas,
if
yeah.
those doors.
Yo,
are
back up a
portals.
second. 5 portals from the Pope. I have not heard.
Yeah,
I
that's
have not heard that. Can you explain that? I'm intrigued, to be honest. Yes.
Hi, Hebrew God. My name is Ed. I'm your
You haven't
host.
heard
Courtney above
this?
you is your co-host. Should we refer to you as a
Oh,
Hebrew
check
God, or
out.
would you like to be called by a different name?
No, I don't. No, it's okay. If you wanna have
All right,
Nick
man.
on.
Cool. Welcome up, man. So yeah, if you're not speaking, try to mute your microphone. We can so we don't get echo and continue along. It's great.
Oh yes, sir. Don't worry.
The Hebrew. Um, are you like a old style Hebrew, new style Hebrew, Salawam?
You know, I'd like to just worship, Yeshua HaMashiach, the original Hebrew name,
Okay, okay.
Yahweh and Yeshua HaMashiach,
I got you. I got you.
Thanks
Shalom,
for
bro.
being here and being so kind. I feel good energy from you, bro. That's cool, man. All right, where were
Yeah,
we?
yeah. Oh no, I'll be on mute. Don't worry. I'll listen. I'll be on mute. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
yeah, you up next, bro. I don't do that one at a time thing, so just make it converse. So I'm gonna shut up personally, and Courtney and we're cool. Just say whatever you want.
Hey, this
Oh
isn't
yeah.
trivia night. Go ahead, son.
5 doors. The Pope's opening 5 doors. But why?
Oh, yeah. So if that's okay, the Pope said 5 portals, right? He wants to open. Um, and why do they have CERN?
I'm sorry. I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you, but can you explain to me where it talks about 5 portals? I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you tell me
Well, no,
where?
Yeah, let him go
recent.
through. Let him finish. When he's done,
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Well,
it's
no,
all good.
it's okay. Yeah. So, yeah, the Pope he came. Let me get it right fast. Cause I be doing a lot of. I got a little homestead. I be working a lot on.
This is all, nothing happens to us. Everything happens for us. We realize this is all for us, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now that
You read that, yeah.
now that he's somehow been removed, so the 5 portals or the 5 doors that the Pope was actually going to make. It's what it's they're saints, right? Each portal, each door are saints, and they open them up on Christmas or to Christmas. And I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I will say that out loud. But I do believe that it's supposed to be like, hand holding and everything of that nature. So, what do you believe that information is about? If you know
We,
any information about it.
we've been training for it.
Okay.
Everything happens for us. This and nothing new under the sun. This has happened before. We've been here before. And everything, and the only thing when we were talking about time doesn't, it's a man-made construct. The only time that exists is right now, and it's okay. I'm talking to myself when I say I had to personally be okay with not knowing or remembering it all at once. It's like an IV drip. You don't squeeze the whole bag into you at once. It's a slow drip to full disclosure, and we're all pieces to the pie. And so the trick here is to be introducing a whole lot of fear and reasons to go at each other and to point fingers at each other, instead of remembering that we are each other, that I am you and you are me and we are we. And if we could connect like a jigsaw puzzle, and we liked that movie called Saw, the jigsaw puzzle and the movie It was about one thing to fear and a whole bunch of kids that had different fears. They didn't fear the same thing, even though it was just the
Such
one.
a good book. I read that when I was like way too young.
It's just it's all been done so that we could all first clear out our own personal trauma, and then when we allow and we become our true authentic selves and we start to remember, then that energy flows freely through us. But again, can we allow everybody to have their own truth and begin to start connecting those pieces? And we'll find out. It all had to be this way, but we'll find out if we were able to do that. I don't know the answer to that. We've already reached the golden path timeline, but we have to be okay with not knowing and not just
Hey,
taking
Kino, do you want to come back up, man?
somebody else's truth. It's going within. When we win is when we go within and we start to remember who we are and why we're here and what our mission, so to speak, is. Mission ends in ION, which is energy, because it's all energy, it's all frequency, and it's
All
not.
right, Kino's back. Let's get back to five Christmas, the 5
Yay!
star. I see a 5-pointed star. Kino, your name's not Kino, bro. My name's
Oh,
Ed.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you also think there is frequency in
Yeah, go ahead. It's
music?
definitely your time. You earned it.
Frequency isn't everything.
What's that?
There's nothing that doesn't have
Like
frequency.
music, it's
What's that, Hebrew?
I was just asking, is frequency in music too?
It's in
Of
everything.
course, it's definitely in music. I mean, that's music is a frequency.
Yeah, you're true about that. Yeah.
7 notes in the scale, 7 planets, 7 days in the week, 7 7, 7 11, 7
That's right.
7
And 12 in the
cycles.
chromatic scale, and 13 is the octave, 8 is the
11.
octave. It's
The
all,
only
it's all
I'm
those
just
dimension, baby. All right, 5
All
stars.
s-
Christmas, Colostrum, Santa Claus, Chisholm, up the chimney, down the chimney, 33.
Yeah. All 7
La
and
la
we'll
la
watch them
la.
fall. They stand in the way of love, but we'll
but
catch them all.
Will I am. Do you
Yeah.
believe that what do you believe exactly? Like to the core? Because I hear what you're saying, but I'm just trying to figure out because I don't mind listening, but I'm just curious to know like how do you think the trees came about? Like the trees and water and stuff like that. Like how do you think that happened?
Are you talking to me or someone else?
Yeah, I was talking to Will.
Oh, okay.
How do I
Because
think?
Will philosophize a lot. Like he makes things match. Like 7 this, 7 that.
He's genius. He's a math something. It's called like a math path or something. When you're just super expert in random weird all places at once.
Yeah.
Well, we made that movie, didn't we? Everything, everywhere, and all at once. Like the gentleman asked about frequency. Everything is frequency. I mean, including us, but so are words, so is water, so are trees. The story of Abraham and his wife, which I always called Sarah, but that's not her name. And I forget her name, but was told not to look.
Ishka.
Isn't it Ruth?
Her name was Ishka. No, Ruth
Ishka.
is King David's grandmother, but Ishka is her name.
Yeah. That's a heavy question.
That's actually hidden. That's funny you knew that because that's really hidden. Like nobody talks about that.
Well, raised Catholic, and I mean, I don't think you have to be raised Catholic to talk about it, but yeah, I've lived for no wife, no kids, no reason to do anything but live in my head for the last 8 years, and so it's taking literally everything around us. You people, all of you in the live, you people, the people in general, music, movies, just it's all there. It's all within us.
Wait. What were you gonna say about Abraham's wife, Sarah? You said it's not her name, and then
she was told not to look, and if she did, she would turn to salt.
That's no. That's not Abraham's wife. That was Lot's wife.
Lot.
Lot's wife.
Sorry, Lot. Yes, sorry.
But
Right.
actually, Ishka means to keep an open eye. So, I'm like, what? Because that's Sarah. Because she was waiting on a blessing, and she got blessed to actually have Isaac, who would bring in the blessing to Jacob, who would be the Israelites.
And his name was Isaac. It's all in the word. So in the Nag Hammadi in the Lost Gospels of John, it says the word followed will. I am William Wallace, and my ancestor fought with a sword. I just moved the S to the back, and I love to fight with words and break them down because we wrote them. We created the language. We created all the languages, but we chopped them up and split them about the world so that we would.
All of it. And that's why I was asking, and I need you to answer that question for me. Like, where do the trees come from? What do you believe in to the core of your understanding?
That's such a hard question to just answer. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Is my
let me see.
treadmill loud, you guys?
Do you believe in an intelligence that could create, or like as far as existence, or do you believe this is all accidental?
No, I don't think it's accidental at all. All by design, divine design. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could, what a source, God. There's all kinds of names, but I also believe in the great I am. I am. It's a weird. The song Power Man 5000 has a song. It says, "This is what it's like when worlds collide." I think there's a way for us to exist here without actually existing, for it to be just me and you all invited into my life, me creating all of you, but also for you to exist and it to be just you, and for you to invite all of us into your life. But it's like getting to the core of understanding of how we exist and what we are as we exist, and going, but then we get lost in the timelines and the wars and all the different distractions that are here to forget us as to who we are. It's a dream within a dream. It's go ahead.
I'm saying that we no longer lost. We on a path now, and like we all waking up. Like y'all, I think that, like, I live in Louisiana, and when I look around, I see people that want to go back before 2019, but we never going back before 2019, right? It's like I'm looking at dead people, to be honest with you. But people that I'm talking to right now on this app, y'all seem to be waking up or woke or something. Y'all different.
Strategically placed.
So, okay.
You know, your name backwards is Anuk. Anuk means I am. Anuk, A-N-U-K means I am. Like Anuk, Ma'at, I am Ma'at, I am is very powerful. Now we're at the point you're saying while waking up. I expect you guys to be yourselves. Like, you should expect me and respect me. When you're asking him what he feels, it's not like, oh man, is he coming at this guy? Nah, man. You respect him enough to actually want to know what he's going to say or channel right now. We should have the respect to you. I expect you guys to hold yourselves accountable. You should expect me to be myself and no one else at this point in the game, baby. So that's awesome, man. You guys are great.
Yeah. Oh, it's no hostility. I like to get confirmation on things. Right now I'm in a period in my walk, I guess, on a treadmill, like Courtney.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Like I'm just.
Hey, you know, she's doing the work, man.
Yeah, I'm just kind of laid back right now. Like I'm not necessarily fishing for men. You know, I'm just curious to know where the nations are. Like, because I've been seeing these things, and I've been having a dream since I was a baby boy of like things happening or coming on the earth, and nobody saw them but me. You know, and it always haunted me.
You said nobody saw what?
Well, like Will said, it's specific. It's uniquely you, like the movie It. You are the only one that saw that. You know what I mean? And you're living your destiny right now. You will give you room. I smell. You're not pushing anything weird. There's no weird energy going on as far as you. And I want you to feel comfortable and be quiet if you want to. If you want to speak, Ruben is my friend. Rubes is my friend, and Will and Courtney are people I've known for a couple of years now on TikTok since my near-death experience in 2022.
Oh, I want to hear about it.
So we all met Desi, man, and I'm glad to meet you too. So feel free to be loose or be tight. Yeah, work your energy. But you will get no pushback energetically from anybody up here, back, forth, or any way. Feel free to say what you want without repercussion, emotionally or energetically.
You know, I do want to explain how I feel where a tree comes from. A tree comes from a seed, and energetically, it reaches up to the sky and reaches up into the ground. And
okay, wait! I can barely hear you for some reason. Sometimes, like, but I want to hear this good. Like,
yeah, Courtney, mute up.
A tree comes from a seed, and energetically, we are a tree. We energetically, like, we go up into the ether and then we go down into Gaia or the earth. And we have that, we coincide with said energy in order to become more and become who we are as a being and what we need to learn this time around. Hopefully this is the last time for us, everyone here on this panel. But if you want to come back, that's up to you. But I believe reaching out.
I want to come back.
Yeah, you know what? It's surprising how many people want to come back to continue teaching and learning.
It gets really discouraging sometimes. And there was a time whenever I was in the same consciousness, but like to hear people say, you don't want to come back. What if that's the deceit? What if the trick is to trick people's minds into thinking that there is somewhere better when this is the best. This could be great.
Maybe they
is
think that
it.
we're not
Yeah, I
supposed
probably
to want to
should.
come
There's so
back, but
much
if we're
I
supposed to come back, because when we come back, the whole place is a different place. So we're supposed to come back, but the place is different. It manifested to a new place. So that maybe it's always a trick turning around. You know how it goes.
Okay.
This is it though. Where did that concept come, or this understanding that you go like somewhere else and you don't come back here?
There's a whole lot of people in this app that suggest that there's elsewhere to be.
No, you
Okay.
you
So
have
no,
you have to
there's
go
there's
somewhere
other
else when your
dimensions
soul
out
leave
there.
your body. When your soul leave your body, you know, but that soul, that spirit, and that's why I wanted to hear his near death experience, because I had one myself, and it resonate. Man, this is crazy because
Okay. I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So people always talk about the soul and the spirit, right? And the fact is that we are consciousness. We are bioelectromagnetic beings in a flesh suit. Okay? And when that bioelectricity, that plasma is gone, we leave. Energy transforms. It never destroys itself.
I
Okay?
understand
And we
that.
have a
Yeah,
consciousness. So that is the soul. That's our soul. That's us. That's why we can hear our thoughts. That's why when I say
ravenous.
apple.
Your
Okay.
soul or your spirit is a being.
Yeah.
It's also a being too. So it's not like it just dispersed into all different matter, or like just
No.
everything's tugging
I
at
was
it.
wrapping it up.
When you do leave your body, when you leave your body, you intact as you went in
I was
that
wrapping
body.
it up. When I said that when you can see an apple, when I say apple in your mind, it's an intangible construct, right?
Okay,
And
intangible. Okay.
yeah. So when you just like our bodies are tangible things, so and the intangible construct is that soul. When you can hear your own voice in your head, when you hear other voices in your head,
Where do thoughts
that's
come
the
from?
soul. Exactly.
Um,
Ether. The thoughts. Oh my God, bro.
I, I
Love
That's
you
I
too.
have I have an explanation for that too. But
universal consciousness. Okay, sorry, God.
Correct. We're all
so
connected.
wait, so wait. The other voices is still you. You saying?
Yep.
Well,
In a different
yes
body.
and no.
Piece of you. A piece of you.
Yeah.
So you can't be possessed by anything else?
You can
Oh,
be overtaken, I believe. You can be, but it's temporary.
See, that's what I'm saying though. It's not supposed to be permanent. You see, but it can be. But my point is, or permanent to your destruction, to where you lose your soul. And that's what I'm saying. Like when that's why I wanted to be quiet, kind of, because but I'm listening and we talking, and y'all, and I'm comfortable, and I think you guys are too. But if we continue to have this conversation, the answers are gonna come out. You see what I'm saying? And it's gonna kind of like unravel, or it's gonna peel away a lot of
I like to
heartfelt
I like to say
thoughts
there are no
about
answers. There's
life.
only questions, and that's what a lot of people stopped doing was
That's
asking
my
questions. We
point.
got real
But
comfortable with being told what to believe.
right, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, so but
Yeah.
through
This one is
conversation, you
newer
can
for
then
me.
rationalize. You see what I'm saying? And reason. And then if it resonates with your spirit and you can't fight it away, even if it's tomorrow, that is still, getting at you. Like to lack of better words. Um it's just gonna be the truth. It's like that guy that left. I forgot his name. I like that brother that left. He was talking about all the buildings he was tired of being lied to. So we've been lied to for so long, right? So we want the truth.
It's the only way
The
to,
truth
it's
is
the only way
what
to
we
get to the
should
truth
be
is through the lie.
after. But the truth is what we should be after,
The
right?
truth
We have to
truth is
leave
Guys,
room
the
for the truth to come. We have to leave room for the truth in our conversation. Leave that space for truth to enter.
and truth is an anagram for to really understand the heart. I am the way, the truth, and the light, the way to wisely acknowledge yourself.
That's what
Truth
I'm
to
saying.
really
You you
understand the
can
heart.
you can
Light
you
love is God's highest truth.
okay, but wait now.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now you mix and match so much. You just made a man God. Like you just said, like the heart. We need to figure that out. That's what the truth is, and then that's God. Like
I just made a man God.
God is nothing to do with His creation.
Well,
Like God is separate. Like I'm saying, the trees come from God, man, or the seed. That's what I should have asked. The seed.
I see God in everything. Everything
And that's
is God.
cool because He created everything. That's not. I don't have nothing against that, right?
God as a
To
day.
give us consciousness, to give us everything we need to even be consistent, as a species,
What
to be the dominant species on a
what
planet. All this
what
stuff come from what you just said, God, right? I don't say God,
what if you are God playing yourself,
bro. I
experiencing
didn't
your
make
own
a tree.
creation?
I didn't meet a man that ever made a seed that made all the trees or any tree. It's still today, till this day. And that's why I use tree. And then people go philosophizing, but
That
then
sounds like
we
the egg
say,
theory, William. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But continue.
we believe in a creator, that it has to be divine. But then we take away the divine and give it back to man. So that's where I get confused, because I don't mind listening, but when it's not even rational, like I'm spiritual, okay, but I'm not saying anybody gotta jump up on my level of looking at things, right?
There's no level of spirituality, right?
I'm saying it could be low if somebody is intellectual. To them, spiritual, or I'm intellectual, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying somebody got to do what I do,
Okay.
but when I'm listening, I'm trying to explain what I'm hearing happening, and I think that by me mentioning this, everybody can recognize it, right? That's exactly what's being said. It's being given to God and then taken away. It's kind of like Christianity. It's like in Christianity, people actually, God works for them. They don't work for God. You don't have to do no laws. You don't have to do nothing. You go repent, and then you could do the same shit again. You know what I mean? Like you could just like slaughter out whatever you want, or just like, even like with if you look at what happened with those priests recently, they paid out 880, I think, or $90 million to all those little children that they raped. And nobody is on
All right.
TV that they are rapists or
All right,
anything
we don't
like
It's
talk
that.
like that on
true.
my live. You're gonna get me banned. Don't say those words on live. TikTok's weird. I don't know if it's true. It's true.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay,
step
okay.
back a second. You make me think it's like give a penny, take a penny. You can serve God, but you can take too. It's a give a penny. You are human, so to be human is to
5149.
take, and to serve God is to serve. So give a penny, take a penny. Yeah, don't say like our stuff and kids, and I can't even talk about eating little bambi stuff. Like I'm all about those young tender little things, but Adrena can't talk about the chrome spray paint. So you know what I'm saying? So TikTok's wacky like that. I guess. I don't know, man.
Edward, you're funny.
I don't want to stop all the huge money I make on TikTok. Hey, who's in the comments? It's Christmas. Can I get some gifts? Can you give me a funny hat or something? I want to buy some good equipment. Look at this shit.
Christmas.
My
Christmas.
bad, Eddie. My bad. I wasn't thinking, man. But I'm on point now. So,
This
but
sounds.
Yeah, but
Can
it's halfway there, man. I'm
You
only giving
shouldn't
a penny,
have to
take a penny,
do
so
that.
it's only halfway. So I can bust you too, man. I feel like we're friends. We already know each other. When I met Ruben, we knew each other from lifetimes ago, and I was Thoth and he was Ra, and this is just like a version of a storyline. We had a much deeper conversation, like connection, obviously, but we've known each other forever. That's the confirmation.
I hear you. I hear
Word.
you. Um,
You
So
must
Tina,
be
I
new
would
to
like to.
TikTok. It's hard though to censor yourself when you shouldn't
yeah,
have to.
I just mainly want to listen
You know what?
anyway.
You mentioned the other site, and there's Lemon 8, and there's the one that you mentioned that people are talking about. If you don't have an account on that app, what was it called? That you
Me?
said you got a request maybe from William Wallace.
Oh, you guys
Oh,
were
that was
talking about
What's it
me
called?
saying Clubhouse.
What's the name of
something
that
about
app?
the tower or the lighthouse or something like that.
Anyways, there's two apps
Clubhouse.
that people are like, oh, if you don't have TikTok and TikTok does go down, get
Oh,
Lemon 8, which is run by TikTok, and there's another one called like I'm going to be able to see, but it's kind of like TikTok.
Well, I am and Kino
they
were
really
talking to each
trying to
other
take
because
this
they were.
thing down too, huh?
I think he said
I don't know.
Clubhouse.
I'm moving my game to YouTube. YouTube is where we're going to get
Clubhouse,
monetized. Click, repeat views. Live's overrated. All this stuff is overrated. TikTok, you're gone in the wind. You make a video and it's gone in 6 hours for life, forever. YouTube, guys, everyone get your YouTube channel. If everyone follows everyone, you need 50 people to go live. If I'm live, I can go, hey, Courtney, get your account. Then we
I
have
have
two
like
live people, so we
3
can do live.
followers.
Audio's better. Everything's better.
Hey, see, on Clubhouse, you just go straight live immediately.
Do you the day that
Oh,
TikTok
you don't need following
is,
at Clubhouse?
the day
Yeah,
that
yeah.
TikTok is
No,
rumored
no.
to go down? What day is that?
Say what now?
19th of January.
January what?
19th.
Oh,
And what is that?
yeah.
What is that backwards?
What is it backwards?
Natch 91. Wait a minute. TikTok is a clock, and when it's on, when TikTok stops, is that a cue?
January 19th backwards is 911.
I knew.
9/11.
Oh, word. Well, the
So
pillars,
what-
right? Because
let
I
me-
was saying
let me-
Courtney's
let me-
down with the pillars and the anode, cathode, mountains, and Mount Maru and stuff. Courtney's really hip on that, Will. So I was saying to her
Thanks
that you're
to
hip on
you.
that stuff too.
So
Yeah, Jay Dreamer, shout out.
what happens if everything that we've done and all the work that we've done to remember who we are, and all this talk of the Pope opening 5 doors, and all this talk of these drones, et cetera, and even movies. Die Hard made a movie about the grid going down. What happens if a day comes when we're not able to communicate and we're left to do it by ourselves? Buddy, you're gonna have to chill
Right?
out.
That's why I
That's
don't want
what
to
this
buy
is,
this
right?
XRP.
We got to know when we have to engage in energy on a telepathic level. We know when we need to put our energy up in the universe or not in the universe. So we're not going to know when we're going to have to do whatever we're trying to figure out how to do to connect to the 144 responsible energy us's or something like that. But it's basically we're training to be telepathic, right? Like during this, or at least recognize that signal that we're all relating to and harmonizing. Like whatever that frequency is, we can all recognize. We will recognize it out in the wilderness as well.
Numbers are a language, and this entire, I mean, that's the matrix. It's zeros and ones, but we coded everything. We coded it though. We didn't make it easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. We have to ask to receive. We have to seek to find. But these numbers matter. And for that specific date of 119 backwards to be 9/11, and just a quick synchronicity for me with my dad. When you remove the 5s from his birthday, you're left with 119. When you remove the 17s from mine, you're left with 911. We can find ways in numbers is to connect.
I was just going to say there's no zero in music, but yeah, all the notes are zeros, I guess, like the circles.
Now watch. Let me tell y'all something right fast. I picked up the Bible to forgive somebody. Read it. Nobody wanted to hear anything in it. I don't believe I knew like what I know about it now. Okay, time passed, but while I was doing this, I noticed Fox News. A matter of fact, and Bush, I think, was coming in. George Jr., right? And he cracked me up. He was a trip. But at the bottom of Fox News, the little border information that runs across the bottom, they said that our Navy was too powerful to be dealt with. This was in 1996, right? That no country could actually come at us. Now, for me, I mean, I know our Navy is strong, but a couple people, not people, but nations could get together and bombard, and you know, Pearl Harbor happened and whatnot. But maybe that was just a setup. Okay, I don't know. But the story I'm getting to actually is the fact that 9/11 happened. Now I bought my property waiting on Bush to do some stuff because I figured he was going to do all kind of stuff because he resembled figures in the past. Okay, that's how I'm gonna put it. So 2008 come, there's a recession, and I stacked away money. So I bought choice land that I have a homestead on now. You get what I'm saying? So now 9/11.
That is so awesome. I'm glad for you.
Oh, hey, all praises. That's how I gotta say it, you know. But thank you. And because I feel like I was being led, right? I see this at the bottom. Fox News was Fox News at the time. They were the best. Fox News was not skipping any stories or tweaking it for the Republicans against the Democrats or none of that at that time. It wasn't entertainment, you know. It was straight up news. And then they, from what I understand, they signed something that released them from telling the truth, like a lot of other stations do. So anyway, dealing with 9/11, I always knew that it was a strong possibility. And at the time, before Bush, I thought it was going to be Clinton, because I saw Clinton go to a football game, like a Super Bowl or something. And I
Hey,
had
Keno.
never seen a president do that.
Hey, Keno, real
So,
quick, just because I have to go,
uh-huh.
just to finish that, because it wasn't just that those birth dates matter. My dad was born at 9/11 a.m. My dad was at 9/11 digging bodies out. My dad's third wife was born on 9/11. What I was saying was that there's no coincidence. And then to bring full circle to your comment about the Bible, and I don't want to offend, it's just my truth, because I was raised Catholic, and I'm not. I'm grateful for it, but what I know now, or what I remember now today, is that book is a science book about you. All the books, they're all about you, but it's just about going within and connecting all the different languages, specifically in this case, numbers and events that we think happened. Did they even really happen? And I know that probably sounds like a silly question, and I'd love to elaborate more, but I have to go. But the 9/11 comment was more than just it being January 19th TikTok, more than just my birth date and his birth date. It's very specific things about you that we have to go back and remember and look at and see how they connect to all the things, all the clues, all the books, all the movies, all the music, all the people. Every single thing in your life that has ever happened for a reason, and you can connect it all to you to essentially reverse engineer who, what, and where you are. But
Just fucking awesome, Will.
I love you, bud. I have to go.
Hit me up on Discord or something like that. Let's trade some pictures. I got a whole bunch of new fucking pillars and plasma beam pictures from old 1500s guys. So hit me up on Discord or any other media. We can share more pictures. And
if you guys are still on, I'll come back. I will.
I'm gonna go jump over. AT's last live of the year is tonight, so we got to go show face over there probably and cry.
I followed you, Keno, so we can maybe talk later. I go live every once in a while, just not that often.
You guys are fabrics are woven in Disney or something like that.
Very nice talking with you guys.
And you got Stitch, man. You guys, Courtney and me, come on, man. You guys definitely. Yeah, you guys want to wrap it up there, True? Keno, any last words?
Oh no, I'm cool, man. I just I put it all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Were you in the military, Keno?
Yeah. No,
Oh.
I got different accounts like Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that. Try and connect with me. My name is Ed, and if you want to go live some other time, create some space. We can just do like a 2 or 3. Courtney's like a great director, human, like clipboard person. She's like in charge, so she can do and let you have some flow room. I'm really interested to let you channel. And Rabanus, thank you for bringing out the best in all this, as you always do, my man. You guys want to say anything else?
All you guys.
Enjoy.
You're gonna play us out? Come on.
Yeah, mute your asses up, motherfuckers. Song's about fucking the world and how they lie and they tricked some chick and she was all somebody and then they did something else and it was all fucked up, man. Goodbye, Norma Jean. I never knew you at all, but you had the pride with those around you crawl. They came out of the woodwork and they whispered in your brain. They put you on a treadmill and even changed your name. And it seems to me like you live your life like a candle in the wind, knowing where to go to when the rain falls. You know that I would like to know you, but I was just a boy. If candle burned out long before candle ever did. Never played this song really before. Oh, loneliness was hard. Hardest role you ever played. Hollywood made you a star. Pain's the price you paid. And even when you died, they wouldn't leave alone your name. And all the papers could say was Marilyn found out in the news. And it seems to me like you lived your life like a candle in the wind. You didn't know where to go when the rain came in. I would like to know you, but I'm just a boy. Your candle burned out long before the legend ever did. It's about Marilyn Monroe, and I never knew that song was about Marilyn Monroe till the other day when we did that live. Remember Miss USA 1920?
Who?
Bye, Courtney. Have a good night.
That's nice. Good night.
Go over,
Talk to you later.
Yeah. All right, later. Hi, Angela. See you over ATs probably.
Maybe I'll see you over there.
Yeah, like, I should put like devices in other rooms so I feel like I go somewhere. Never mind. Bye.
Bye.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Ciao. Great. Live. Oh, follow me on TikTok.
You're supposed to cut me off. I'm not going to leave because it'll make your algorithm look bad.
I don't think that's true
You're
at all.
supposed to drop me. You hang up.
Who's making cash on this site? Who's making
up.
cash on this? Anyone that's got a live that has a bunch of people up there, like hundreds, they paid to have those people in there. They're liars. No one's selling water bottles.
I still have $1.43.
YouTube. We have to do YouTube and put classes, and we have to start a Patreon and YouTube, like payable content. And then it's like, that's how it fucking works. TikTok ain't making no one no cheddar. You know, my PayPal card has on it right now, I think like $10. Cheddar, baby. I like that Wednesday drop in my account, though. Boom! You know, when I used to go on ATs live when I first started doing this, I was like tons of money. I didn't have a connected PayPal because everyone was gifting. People like 400 likes. Oh, it's crazy. Now, look at this. What I got? 8.5.
Hey, these are all the homies, right?
We'll figure it out.
Mwah.
Hey, we can make some money. We got enough to say. We know enough to let other people talk about whatever they want and cut them off and say they're just like move the conversation to something might be true.
I think that guy was disrespecting me because I'm a lady.
Well, he's pissed. Well, what are you talking about? Why are you judging people? You don't know that about. How did you talk about how you feel, not how he was doing? You want to talk about how you feel? Because that's what matters. No one makes you feel anyways.
He kept talking over me and disrespecting me and
everybody else. You talking about this fella that was in here? This guy?
Yeah.
That was in this box? Buddy. He's cool. He's a couple drinks, man. I know what a couple drinks sound like. It was just cool. When you got nowhere to go and you're at the bar and you got nothing to do, you look at chicks, man. And what do you do with chicks? How do you hit it? You're jogging on a fucking treadmill with you bouncing. You could see the top of your boobs.
That was way before that bullshit.
Really? That's all I can remember from the whole night. I'm just kidding. Hey, St. Jem. St. Jem made too. But remember me and you used to go live all the time, St. Jem, back in the day. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to get a hard drive, plug it into a really thick wire, and put like newer channel, some other surrogate channel, a fake, goofy, stupid channel. Just put people in boxes that they keep rotating in and have like bot people that bring people up and the light. I just set shit on auto. Thanks for the likes. I feel bad for some spiritual people that are like light reading and they're like, that shit must get real boring after fucking a while,
It does,
like,
actually. In fact, it does.
They're going to be mailing it in sometime. Not to discredit anyone's stuff, but it does turn into, like when you're a professional gypsy on a boardwalk, you got to just do the dial-in moves sometimes too. You got to make someone that rum and coke as the bartender. You're not always making some new original creative thing. Sometimes you're just, doing it. No one pays for shit though. Who's killing it in this game?
Well,
you see people like, with these $100 readings. Who's fucking giving you $100 to tell them how they feel? You know what? You are going through stuff, and it's going to be good. But look out, Mercury retrograde. If I wanted to be a faker, I could fake it better than anybody. Like Tia's fucking legit, and she don't pull that crap. She's not trying to take someone's wallet.
I'm gonna call her tomorrow on lunchtime.
Right. You should. She likes you too.
Did you hear that?
She's smart.
Yeah, we haven't talked in a while.
Smart. People don't understand how smart she is. They hear the way she talks and what she looks like, and they're like, "What's going on?" Because they don't understand. So if they don't understand, they assume it's stupid.
It was like I was just talking to my sister.
You don't look like having any of that telepathy. It's not telepathy. It's telepathy. It's like you can read people's feelings. You don't know what people are thinking, but you know how they're feeling. It's telepathic empathy. She has it. You have that, but you don't look psychic at all. You look like you're at the library.
Me? What? I have a friend who is very telepathic, and I'm like, I just don't know how to put it into words. And she's like, that's the point. You don't have to spend too much time trying to think the word. You don't have to think the word. Anyway, we'll work on it.
How did that audio sound? Awful, by the way. I got one mic. I gotta get some equipment.
That's fine. I have to run to the store.
Yeah.
We could do karaoke on TikTok.
No, I do go on some. I like to go on the Korean ones or Philippines, and no one speaks English usually, but they like it, and I'll go play like a Chicago song or something really weird, and they'll be like, "Hey yo!"
No, look away.
Some karaoke's are rough. You know the crowd that goes to pro wrestling? Like, you know the kids that really like John Cena? That crowd with the syndrome? Like, there's definitely some slow people in the karaoke sometimes.
That's Chicago, right? See, I was listening and talking at the same time, but I don't know if the viewers appreciate that.
I don't know how this sounds.
Anywho.
Can you hear the guitar at all like that? Can you hear the guitar and my
Hey,
voice?
my
I gotta
homie
figure out where to
Joe's
put it.
in here. Hi.
Oh, you know what? There's a hole right here. I'm going to open this hole. Let the sound come up there.
Alkaline Trio nails. They're a mess.
Alkaline Trio, man. They have very personal to
I'm
you.
obsessed. Yeah. It's been
Goodbye,
a whole
Norma
several hours since I
Jean.
talked about them.
I never knew you at all, but you held your grace while those around you crawled. They came out of the woodwork and they whispered in your brain, put you on a treadmill and made you change your name. And it seems to me that you lived your life like a candle in the wind, not knowing where to go to when the rain came in, because she had no real friends. I would really like to have known you, but I was just a boy. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Oh, it's A major, legend ever did. And then it goes B minor, and then it walks down. Bum, bum. And that's the note of the melody starts on that note. So hide that note in your ear, right? Bum, bum. Loneliness was hard, the hardest role you ever played. Hollywood made you a superstar. Pain's the price you paid. Even when you died, they wouldn't stop with your name. No, what do they say? Oh, they wouldn't stop talking about you. All they could say is that Marilyn was found in the nude. Right? Okay. Loneliness was tough. Toughest role you ever played. Yeah, it is. Loneliness is tough. Toughest role you ever played. Hollywood made you a superstar. Pain's the price you paid. And then they said, even when you died, they wouldn't leave your name. No, it's nude. So what happens to nude?
It says
they wouldn't stop talking about you. All they could say is that they found Marilyn in the nude. I don't even like Elton John.
And on that note, I will talk to you later. I'm being summoned to the car.
I gotta go by myself with my shitty camera on my tablet from Temu.
Well, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Drop me off.
No. You're a moderator. You can mod yourself.
I'll take you in the car with me then. Well, if you take me off,
let's go mobile.
Then it messes up.
Take me out. I know you don't know. I know, don't you know?
I'm just
take me
probably
out.
Gonna be on mute.
I know I wouldn't be leaving here. Hey, I know. We like traveling. Hey, maybe we have to give these devices back. I wonder, you know. It's weird. Is a portal? Can I come in there? No. You ever have feelings? Do you ever suppress your feelings because you think it's better for you? Because those feelings might be wrong? Who says? Sometimes you just blatantly know they're wrong, though, right? Could you decide and actually say that is actually a wrong feeling? Leave me here with my feelings alone. Thanks a lot. Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'll just sit in the limbo of TikTok. Here's a song about Tartaria. Tartarian muffins, Tartarian pie, Tartarian ice cream, Tartarians why? Right. What are you doing? Well, oh, Big Wicked, what's up? Just wrapping up this live. We were talking about the reset, mud flood, OG, Big Wicked. How's your name, bro? You marketing? What are we doing, bro? Only account, no personal accounts. What's Big Wicked do? What do you do, bro? Want to plug? Kino back in the house, man. About to wrap it up. Do you know Alien T, Kino? If you go to Alien T's live, I don't know if you know that crew over there. It's all a spiritual high school, like in School for the Gifted. I'm going to go jump over there. I'll share you the live, though. That way, if you go in there, maybe you'll see some people on the panel. 8-person roundtable panel, AT, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Most professional show on TikTok. So, anyways, it was good talking to you, bro. I'm going to drop this live. Follow my YouTube, right? Because I'm going to upload this episode. I do EdTalk. My name's Ed. It's like a TED Talk, right? Hashtag Edio knows. It's in the link tree in the bio for my YouTube. So, hour, not even an hour, it'll be half an hour. It'll be up on my YouTube, you talking over there, bro. And if we do it live in the future, if you put a camera on, it'll show you. If you don't have a camera, it comes out blurry. But, bro, I'm 45, 79. 1996 was my big year, too. I was in a band called Communion. Hit it on 1996 now. That's 2000, yeah, 2012, 2000. You in the room? I'll tell you about my experience, my near-death experience, bro. So I was a musician, rock star, fucking bartender, graduated college, tested excellent, got awesome grades, never went to class, good-looking dude, aces for girlfriends, arrogant, agnostic, smile, a prick, fucking self-damaging, all kinds of issues with self-sabotage. No coping mechanisms. My father died when I was young. My father got very sick when I was 8. He was 25 years older than my mother. I had a sister a year and a half older than me. This was my father's second marriage. He was 50 when I was born. My mother was 25. He died very early. I took on a role kind of with my mother in a dependency of some mishmash crazy relationship, which has been amazing the last couple of years since. So I bartending, playing bands, trying to do everything. Girl gets pregnant at 25. The one girl that you didn't want to get, she's the pregnant one, right? I ended up having full custody of my son, Dominic. He was in the live tonight when he was 3 until he was 9. Massachusetts. Never happened. It was crazy. But she came back. She's around now. It's all good. But when he was like 9, 10 years old, I was bartending. I was drinking so much. I was still looking good. Cash rich, bro. Every night. Boom, boom. I got the weed. I'll buy everyone drinks. I bartended so I could drink at the bar, right? You like shoes? You work at the shoe store. Worked some great places. I worked at an arena, the Worcester Centrum, the DCU Center. I worked in arenas because I was in bands and I wanted to network. And the band I was in 1996 in Massachusetts was called Communion with 1M, line over the U. Our logo was an alien, right? I show you some pictures of it. I got tons of pictures. I'll pop it up, but I'll list. And a candle in the wind. Yeah, so I just kept never being satisfied, right? I don't even know if you could hear me, but not. Anyway, but it turned to all hard liquor about 5 years before my Carrington event, right? Talking like 40, 50 nips a day. Yeah, nips, bro. Because I would wake up, drink, 4, get ready, take a shower, drink 2 or 3, get to work, stop in the pack store on the way to work, right? Yeah, I was drinking like crazy, and it turned into I wasn't even going to bars anymore. It was all chemical, bro. Stopped putting the weight on, man. 6 foot tall, right? I got up to like 260. I was like purple. I got shitty skin as it is. Oh man, I was unrecognizable. People would see me in the town. Whoa, I was gonna die. Whoa. I guess he's quit. And I knew the whole time I was like Psychic Joe, and I thought this was like, well, I failed. I was trying to. I gave up on it. I'm like, yeah, I'll find somebody else. If I did have some kind of like, I was special. I was like, man, it's been me the whole time. I was the lead singer. Like, I was that guy. Oh man. And I was like, fuck. So so bad. I was so bad, man, physically. And one night I called my mom. I said, I'm going to the hospital. So we're like, okay, good, you should. I'm like, I'm having organ failure. And she's like, yeah, man, because I would never call the hospital. So I drank all night long. About 5, 6 in the morning, I called the ambulance. I'm like, yo. Actually, my mom called the ambulance. I told my mom to go pick me up because I'm still like wasn't developed or something. Still codependency, right? With somebody that's done everything evil to you could possibly imagine. That's codependency. It's code doing nothing. See, anyways, it's better. I'm better. So I was knocked on the door, right? And they come in, they got the chair, not like a thing. It's like a wheelchair, and like 2 guys carry it like a chariot, like Cleopatra. And they break like, come on, let's go. I'm like, calm down, smoking a bowl, take a couple shits, little butt. I'm like, hold on. And they're like, what are you doing? We have to go to the hospital, bro. We're the fucking emergency guys. I'm like, nah, man, it's not that kind of party, bro. I'm like, I just don't want to die in my condo by myself. The woman I was with had left like a year and a half. She hit some COVID money. We were in a codependent toxic relationship too. We were not happy at all. We weren't even like romantic. It was some like, you ever heard of homeless sexual? It was like I had no credit and she was able to get some spots, and I got arrested for domestic and I couldn't go back somewhere all of a sudden. Oh, you ever been like a guy and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't go back to where all my stuff is, where my son was, because my mother had pressed charges against me saying I was hurting her. She was an alcoholic at the time. She's still an alcoholic. She's 69. She lives in this building where I pay the rent now, and she's on Social Security, and I'm completely sober. And she's crazy as fuck, as she's always been. But I have coping mechanism, energy manifestation. There's a whole process of letting her do whatever the fuck she wants, man. She didn't like this whole spiritual awakening thing, though, when I got out of the hospital, because I went to the hospital. They boom, pumped my stomach. They took a tube, they stuck it right up my freaking dick. I was like, oh. And they took a tube here, and started pumping out like a pump, like a fucking pump. And they weren't going into my stomach; they were going into my abdomen. This fucking green melted popsicle freeze pop liquid would stop pumping into this. I'm like, get out, get out. My bosses, who I work for now, still. He has a twin brother. His name is Daryl. His brother Mike works at the hospital in Worcester. And I told my boss, I'm like, oh, I'm going to the hospital, bro. He's all right. I'll tell my brother you're on your way. If he's there, he'll come meet you down in the emergency room and whatnot. I saw him. I was all blurry at that time, but I remember seeing him in the pump and, like my dick. And I think my mom was walking in because she drove because I took that, right? She knew she found where I was. And I went to bed, man. I woke up in a hospital bed, right, in the hospital. Like, what's up? I feel like crap. I didn't feel like that much crap. I felt scarily comfortable. Now, I've been in hospital before. My father died when I was young. When I was 8, he had a major heart attack that made him lose his short-term memory and long-term memory. He lost oxygen to his cerebral cortex for 40 minutes off and on due to a heart attack. When he was 58, lived to be about 72. So he did get back his long-term memory. Short-term memory never quite worked. But we buried him 10 times over the course of 10 years. Finally got him home. I'll call the bishop, call the pope, call the hospital. Last rites. This is it. Open heart surgery, quad thighs. They took the veins out of his thigh. Open up. They cracked his chest open. Crazy, man. I was 8. My sister was 9 and a half, right? She's a year and a half older. And we're going to the hospital. I'm like, Dad, what's up? And he was asleep because he was in a coma. Kind of like I was much later. It's this, you know what a walk-in is? I think he had a walk-in, left some in my walk. I don't know. Anyway, We don't have to deal with that. But we were 8, and I was with my sister, and my mom's there. I was like, he's this, and I thought that was just what was happening, and it was just what was happening. And I had a sister, nuclear family. It was okay for me because she was there. It was okay for her because I was there. It took a long time, man. I had to go to rehab. I had to learn to walk. I had to learn to talk. You remember who my mom was? Remember, my mom was 25 years younger than my father, the original Eddie-O, who worked in sobriety and did fourth step, his fourth stealth, shadow, self-inventory, not shadow, self-inventory, and other shit. And his number was 29. He was born 9/29/29. Right? I'm 45, right? So when he got sober, around the same time I did, I guess, he started working, through AA, big book. He started working with a church, and he worked with the Bishop of Massachusetts, and the car. He did all this crazy shit, and he ended up being a public speaker for large companies, and talked to all the employees. Like American Optical was a really big client that I remember he always talked about. But basically, what he did on different levels and scales, all the way down to an AA meeting, or he would bring people in our basement sometime out of a bar. He was speaking, crowd, public speaking. The company's like, you all work here at American Optical, and this is what happens when you drink. You're going to lose your wife, you're going to lose your house, you're going to lose your job. Da, 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 da. In a nutshell, you know what I mean? There was obviously a presence and a power behind it because he had lost his first marriage. He had 6 children in his first marriage. I am number 8, Edward Cooney O'Connor myself. I'm his 8th child. So, he was an older father. People thought he was my grandfather. So he wasn't chasing me around like, hey, fucking get old, right? So I'm like, and he was sick. So when he got sick, I could do whatever the hell I wanted. My mom started drinking when he got sick because she was an alcoholic before she met him, and he was teaching sobriety or whatnot, and he created the space for her to not drink. And then they had a beautiful life. We had an in-ground pool, beautiful shit, right? Whole perfect fucking 80s scenario. But it was what it was supposed to be, When the history test was the Empire State Building, 1931 in a year. No questions asked, I guess. I don't know what it was. Saved by the Bell. We were emotionally hung up on different. I don't know. It's like the priority was different for me, of course. So, and I was 8th child. So I think about it now. I'm like, he probably was sick of it anyways. He had me baby pictures like 8 is enough. I'm like, God bless you, boo. Irish Catholic, no condoms thing, right? But I only have one son, Dominic. I think I actually have more. Anyways. So he had a huge NDE, right? Because he was in a coma for 6 months, at least 6 months. I don't know. It was forever. It was life. It was our life had turned into my father's hospital. We had to raise a big man child baby. And luckily he was a stud, you know what I mean? It was my father. He was 60s, but for being in his 60s, he's a good looking guy, still hair. He used to have a hook shot in the court, he had a Robert Parrish hook shot. He's a guy. He's a guy's guy, you know what I mean? He knew what's up. And working at AA, he was nobody's fool, man. He knew how to get around the pool halls too. And he was very well respected. And even though he didn't remember, people would come over my house when he was sick and be like, your father saved my life. Your father saved my husband's life. Your father saved my life by saving my husband's life, who's not even alive right now, but he made closure before he died. My father impacted a lot of people. You know how he healed them is what I'm trying to accomplish. Obviously, that's what I'm supposed to do in my life too. Eddie-O. He's Eddie-O. I'm EDDIE. He's Eddie-O. That was his business, Eddie-O to Y. I'm just copying his moves. But I figured it out, kind of. I think I did figure it out. Space, It's like I can't heal, but I can create the space that you can. You think you seem non-judgmental? Oh, man. I create a nice space when somebody's vulnerable enough to allow it. And sometimes people have to have their breaking point. Like I have always had a hero complex, and I've had relationships learning through mountains of shadow work because of a girl that broke up my divine relationship about halfway through this process of a year and a half on March 9th. Almost 3 years now since my experience. We'll get to that. And I would set up relationships because I have a hero complex where these people would inevitably fail. And I would be the hero by default. But I would not tell myself that, but I would subconsciously do that to have the scenario roll out in a way where I was getting a subjugated, pre-prepared reward or something like that. Sure, sure. Hero complex. Nice shadow work exercise I did. Good time to share it. Patience. Like, oh man, especially with the spiritual stuff. It's like, I do a lot of studying on Mount Meru, North Pole, Claustrum, 33, the 4, Axis Mundi, Plasma Beam, psh, beep, Monte Kronos, Aurora Borealis, Plasma Event, Plasma Volcanoes, and there's other. The Earth energy comes out positive. It's ionized hydrogen comes from the top of the firmament when the firmament goes like this, and then there's like a inverted dome on the very top of it, right? It's a picture of a farm. And then there's like a bloop, and that's how, and when that breaks, that's Humpty Dumpty falling down. That's the actual moon. That gets, anyways, that is like everything right there. And then when that breaks, the ionized nitrogen comes in from outer space, or whatever you want to call it, beyond, like the space, waters, whatever. Ionized, right? You follow me? From the Earth, ionized oxygen. Or it's those two things. Ionized oxygen, ionized, whatever the fuck it is. Any colors, right? Because like noble gases. So that's a big event, right? That's the event. It's patient. So I'm waiting to this, right? Being all like, all right, I'm doing my part. We're observing. We're ready, mindful, right? I practice spiritual disciplines, and I teach, I present, I do my homework, man. I host a fucking spiritual game show, dog. Come on, Eddie-O. Doing it. I'm doing the work, man. I try. I take myself seriously as far as I work for God. I serve God, receive. I believe it. I don't have to believe it. I have my own results personally, so whatever. To anyone that would, why would I even think that? See, right there, trigger noticing every heightened observation. Goku, Dragon Ball, instinct, heightened, super instinct. But it only comes from a place of, where it is. We see it, we touch it. But, you get lazy because you're waiting and you're impatient. You're doing stupid shit, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm patient, I guess I'll go start a fire. Like kids do stupid shit, right? And I'm a kid. I never grew up. I was always one of the Goonies. I was always setting fires. I was always doing one. I was a bad kid, but I was definitely plugging that wire into that outlet and touching the two ends together, right? So impatience. Doing shadow work exercises. How do you feel? How else? When did you feel this? And my father's obviously a big example to use different scenarios in that relationship with your parents or a sister or sibling or any relationship you've ever had with anybody is what you can try to look back far enough, feel that emotion that you're feeling now, and just use that as a shadow work exercise. That might not be the perfect answer for it, but then you can use that one and then use a different perspective. Okay, now how did you feel when that happened this way? How did that school when you weren't listened to? Anyways, so for me being impatient because I'm running out of time, I was like, oh, I got to do this. Like I never thought I'd finish it before. Like a musician, like the next album, I'm not going to finish anyway, so I'm just not going to do it, right? Give up. I give up. But can't do that. So you want to do it. So then it's that weird impatient place and it's uncomfortable and I don't feel creative. I'm running out of time. A couple pages later, a couple scribbles. My father was running out of time because he was going to die. I was not. But knowing that he was leaving, I was on a schedule for his schedule. It's not me. Look at me, Dad. Look at me jump off a diving board. Look at my shot. Look at this. Look at my crossover. Pistol Pete, you walk basket. I just want to do everything in the world to impress my father. Anything I could do. Anything. D. Brown, Reggie Lewis, Celtics, baby, from back Havlicek, man. We watched the big boys fighting the Pistons back in the day all the way to Reggie Lewis. Remember when Reggie Lewis sat in the court? Man. So when I was 22, or 21, 22, I was in college. My light just clicked off. That's weird. I was in college and I was working at a swimming pool store selling swimming pools and hot tubs and pool tables at Pools and Cues and Darts too. What a great job, right? Selling fun. And got commission and hourly. And it was hot tubs in place. And I had a swimming pool, which is great because we got to hold on to the house that he had bought for my family in Auburn, Massachusetts, which was like a ranch. And he built the pool in the background. It was like 12 grand on his job, working for himself. E.J. O'Connor Associates, Eddie O'Connor, his own business. And back in, I don't know what year was this now, 79 I was born. So Whenever I was born, he was already doing it. Yeah, he was like making 100 grand a year at least, I think. My mom's 112 or something. And he just like made up his own numbers so he could like, how much does this cost? And he was like, what's this rock worth? But he did it, man. He did the game, man. He did it, but he served, bro. The money ain't real. It's like he served so many people. Anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. He died. It was tough. I cried. But then again, like I had this weird, like I never really knew my dad because when I was 8. He lost his memory completely, so he knew me as like a new person. Not that he knew me when I was 8, because he was working, traveling, and this 8th kid, and he had the 6 kids with the first giant Irish wife, that Lorraine, and his 6 kids, and that's like that reset industrial era. Like, man, my dad, he dug graves for years. He worked at St. John's, which is college. He's a great football player. Not great football player, actually. He played football in St. John's. He's awful. We're not great. We're big guys, but not athletic, really. We're not really smooth. He played center, right? That watermelon hat, that watermelon piece of leather, no pads, college football. St. John's, like Holy Cross High School is in the same town, right? Holy Cross Crusaders, you've seen them on TV. His nose, nice. He looks like me, but just, he had more like of a life. I took the easy way all the time, right? Because I was smart and witty and clutch and musical, you know what I mean? I was always taking the easy way out. And I'd lie and be like, nah, it's just, functional. So I was always told I was doing things the wrong way, like take the easy way out. Remember math? And the time you got algebra, and you're like, 6. The answer's 6. And the teacher's like, yeah, show me your work. Fuck that moment. Right there, I was like, what are you talking about? The algorithms you had to write off. Statistics was one thing. You couldn't even copy calculus from someone if you wanted to. It was like 2 pages of a lot. Get out of my sign. Now I just ask AI. I'm like, yo, brrr. They held it. They didn't need that. They were just wasting space in our brains, as far as history lesson goes tonight. That's all a waste, wasn't it? It was a reverse waste. So I'm at the hospital. It's 2022. The date is March 9th, 2022. And I didn't even put those numbers together until like a couple months ago. And I'm solfeggio frequency musician, fucking 442, 528. I got a 528 tuning fork. Yeah. So when it's March 9th, 2022, I'm like, oh, someone's like, oh, 396. 396. I'm like, oh, no doubt, huh? Wouldn't you know? Yeah, I tried to get out of it. I tried to drink all the booze in the world and kill myself, and then I died. And I was just I was in the hospital for 2 months with organ failure, liver cirrhosis. My liver was. Your liver is responsible for many things in the human body. Many, many things. Circulation being one of them. All kinds of weird stuff. So, anyways, things weren't good. But I left the hospital. I said, screw all my stuff. I didn't take anything from the condo I was in. Like I just like stopped at some stuff. And, there was a life built there. There was like wooden oak furniture that somebody had been invested with. The other girl I left. She was awful, man. We were both at our worst people. Oh, it was terrible. But I just left it all. I'm like, well, and I came here in Auburn to a place my mom has been living for a couple of years. And then she had a stroke 6 months after I moved in. And I was like barely walking, dog. You have no idea how far I came on the monocreatine hydrate and working out exercise and stimulants and biogenome and understanding, especially being spiritual. It's perfect because I got a cool restart. But I crashed the Camaro, dog. But amazingly, it was all very clear at that point. I'm not going to pretend there was some kind of vision or magical thing. those are very personal to me. I guess I can share one. The night before I made the decision, I was lying on my couch in my condo, and I'm looking at the wall. And there's like a white circle spot with one of the clocks that used to be there, and now it's extra white because she took the clock, right? This girl, not my girlfriend. It wasn't anything like that. It was such a relief she was gone. I could pay for the place myself. So I was there for like a year and a half. And the place went to shit. Literally, it was a hot mess. My son didn't even want to come over and hang out with me. So he's like, Dad, unless he was like, and he is, oh man, we weren't a good, it was just a hot mess. So that night before I decided I was going to go to the hospital and die, I'm going to do white wall, a white wall. Maybe a foot by foot square letters started engraving themselves in the wall, and it was like the inside of the ring of the Lord of the Rings, like when it kind of heated up and it made like that golden, and it was writing across the top. I'm like, oh man, I'm hallucinating. I've been up for too long or something like that. I don't know, like there was no time sleep. It was all just awake, drunk, sleep or awake, drunk. It was happening. I'm like, oh man, and I see it now. It's like forming. And it's like commas, it's punctuation marks. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? And it's written in a language I cannot see, but it's gold and it's like burning in like the inside of the ring and the Lord of the Rings. And it stopped. And then it continues underneath it. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And it was happening. And I stayed there, like if you have a trip and do drugs or something like that, when you're back in or whenever, you stay in the moment when you start tripping, you kind of like hang glide it. So I knew I was seeing it. So I stayed in a position to see it, very witnessy. And it kept going. I'm trying to like look at it. And it wasn't moving in. It was, they were burning into the wall. And then once they were done creating the one letter at a time, it would like kind of turn to like not burning in. It was like there. And it's going. And then it just clicks on me. I'm like, this is my fucking epitaph. This is my goodbye, Ed. Thank you for being here. Your life is ending right now. This is where you die. And these are the golden letters to make you reveal that you're blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, crap. I kind of let it go for a while and did what I would do. I drank. I fucking took some shots and sat there and fucking sit ups, laughing. Always laughing, bro. I'm always laughing. I was always laughing at the wrong time. Cops. Be laughing at cops. Absurdity, that Heyoka energy. Jim Morrison energy. Ha! But I'm not a dick, dude. I'm a fucking great guy. Just kidding. I'm just me. I'm just who I am. At that moment, I felt like nobody. I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, and I wasn't thinking about afterlife or anything spiritual at that. There was no spirituality at that point. I was agnostic. I could tell you everything. I went to college, and I first went to college to study theology and philosophy. I ended up graduating with a degree in communications and marketing and minoring in music theory. But I knew everything about religion because I wanted to be the smartest guy at the table with the corduroys and the flannel in the 90s and talk to that chick with the blue hair. I know all about yin yang. Taoism, you say? With a T? Oh, man. Throwing out fortune could be fucking bullshit. Some of that shit that we would say a lot holds true, of course. Tao Te Ching still holds relevance to me today. I had spirituality at the time, of course, and mindfulness in a sense. Celestine prophecy. But it was always just to like win. It wasn't to like be, I don't know. You didn't know. I never believed in God. I never had faith. I don't believe in fucking fairy tales. I don't like to pretend. I don't want to pretend. I'm never going to tell anyone I'm from Lycron 8, Lyria, Ascended, Zarkanak. I'm also from the Zirconian star system. It's like LARPing is fun, I guess. But if you want to be genuinely authentic to yourself, I don't recommend doing that to yourself, especially to other people. What you say to other people, and they bear witness, that's fucked up. That's not even going into the universe. You're just fucking shitting shit up. Definitely not serving. You know what serving means? Has to go out there. It's like a racquetball and come. I'll get back to you. What it's all about. So this epitaph's writing on the wall saying, I'm going to die, da 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 da, is the end of your life. Shit. All right. Boop. Walk up, breathing, everything, body, starting to get results. I'm alive. And I'm like, all right, I feel pretty good. And I started getting some supplements. I'm like, hey, all right. Wasn't expecting much. I got to go get a TV from Walmart. I started over. Like, everything you see in here is either from Temu from the last 3 years. It's great, though. Without drinking, you'd be surprised how much money Eddie O had in his pocket. I'm in sales, and I am commission 1099 only. I was a bartender for 20 years professionally, events, bruh. You know what I mean? So I get paid with the stacks, the movables. You know what I'm saying? Not so good on my taxes. Don't listen to TikTok. TikTok's like, put your tax information here. I'm like, I don't know about that $5 PayPal drop you're doing. Anyway, just gonna keep serving. So I'm doing the whole thing. Little time's going by. Shit's getting fucking pats on the back from God, synchronicities, clicks, meeting people. Somehow went on TikTok because I saw some stuff on YouTube where people were looking at TikTok videos and being like, hey, look at TikTok. So I wanted to go on YouTube and look at TikTok videos. Then I'm looking at the TikTok videos and I'm looking at all these people just like, they'd play a video and be like, so I knew I could do that. Hi, Aria. Telling my experience. We're at the point where I'm out of the hospital and stuff's starting to happen and I'm noticing it clearly. And I'm in a really good mood. And it wasn't rose-colored glasses. Like, if you see somebody like sober up, you're gonna find Jesus. What can I say with Jesus? Rose-colored glasses. It's fucking stupid asshole movement. It's temporary. It's like people that get addicted to going to meetings or handshakes or like, I really want to help. And you can tell it's not, they don't want to help. They want to help someone so they know that, you know, it's like, I helped you. So, synchronicities, things are going on. And I'll be like, yeah, people, I can point at stuff in YouTube and I have interesting topics I talk about. And then, you know, I started on, was it Wago or Fago, whatever weird video app, because I had to get in front of a camera again. And I was, you know, half the man I used to be. I had neuropathy, nerve damage in my hands and in my legs. I could not walk for a while. I could not play the guitar. I did not really expect to play guitar again. I bought a keyboard off of Amazon for like $150. And if you know anything about keyboards, like I used to have a Korg MS-2000 and like I used to rack Pro Gear and everything. Just to bang out some chords and play some Beatles songs and sing along with them. I thought at least the words to like some Beatles songs. Things started happening. Da, 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 da. One on that first video site, and I was laughing and I was having a good time and I was like, wow. And I wasn't drinking. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what's going on? I felt like I was some kid that found like some fucking, whoa, I don't even know, but it was an awesome feeling. And I wanted to do it again. And little did I know, I joined TikTok, made some work so wrong with like this tablet I'm using, why the video is all lagging, is not my phone. I have a Pixel 7.1, which I ordered online, 2 Dragon processors. This is the phone you want to get. Pixel 7.1, $340. I think I got it for $275 unlocked, right? This is what you want. Anyway, I'm going to get a mini PC, like something like, you know what a mini PC is? This is a speaker, but USBs, and then it's got a hard drive so I can run Windows 11 off it and have Bluetooth, you know what I mean? Got to do Windows style. It's analog fucking Android shit. On the go audio blows. These things are fucking garbage. So, all right, how do I do this? Alien T. I meet someone named Fire Ash, and we connect. And it wasn't super duper spiritual. It was pretty, I think it was like Ohm's Live. It was somebody that is highly psychic, but it wasn't kind of like, it wasn't anything. It was like, yeah, some social thing, but she was there and I'm like, wow. Never heard of Discord. And Fire and Ash and I had what I didn't know at the time. Like I've learned a lot in a short time and how to define things. And I looked at it then as what I would describe then as a twin flame. Don't tell me what a twin flame is, what you think of what it is and why it wasn't or why it was. I was close to her. We were very close. She was the 8th born. I have issues. I hate my fucking body. We have the same. So it's like if we're both feeling it, it's like, oh shit, we're both fucked. Like we can't pick each other up. But if we're both happy, we laugh our asses off. It's great. And through that, I met Rabanus, who was in here earlier. Crystal Chris, who was, as Rubes is, one of my best friends. Like really, I talk to them like when I got shit going on, man, I call them. Ashley, Sarah Lynn, Azriel, Innovision, Alice's Ascension, who's no longer on TikTok. Who am I missing? Just the host of the show, Alien T. So, Alien T's show began. He had a show prior with a partner, and now he's going to do it himself. And he had known Fire Ash, and Fire Ash was going to be predominantly the top box co-host kind of thing, open, close, and the whole first season, she was the show. People were there. So many people that watch Alien T, especially, I guarantee they went in there bonded with her first, and Alien T's there, his own thing as a host. We're talking 200 episodes later. He's better now than he was the first day. He was still good, but people would talk over how to do this, how to make it go longer instead of just have conversation. The dynamics of it, how to ask somebody a question without them having the ability to just talk forever, situations, how to put signals in the comments when we wanted to buzz somebody, like how we communicate. And so we Discord was Fire Ash's Discord. We would all meet in Discord and have a group video call. And I'm like, this is awesome. Look at these freaking guys. You guys are great. And I'm Eddie O. What I do is multimedia. I was a communications major, be on TV, media commercials. I used to make movies back in the day in college. You should see some of the short films I made. I gotta find them. But I've always been a performer and stuff like that. And now being at that time, I was crippled, completely damaged goods. I was like a frame to a car. I might as well, I'm like, oh, I can do this online and at least participate in something and enjoy it. And I know, being in bands, you break even, you win. Don't expect to make money. You do it because you like the art of creation. That's why I'm good at it, because I do enjoy it. And it ended up helping me. I'm like, wow, this is a great combination of shit. And so it was great. Little did I know now, I'm at the point where I want to get out on train tracks and go start retreats and recruits and sing for my supper. I am ready, baby. Super, 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 super. And thus the first season began. The moderators season of AT. So the panel was generally, for that whole first season, first 70 episodes, it was Fire Ash, Sarah Lynn, Ruben, Chris, me, Alice. Predominantly for guest speakers, and the topic would be whatever the topic would be like a chapter in a book. And I would do full-on presentations. I wish he would have put them on YouTube, dog. I don't know why he won't now still. Hey, if anyone's... AT doesn't follow me on YouTube, go yell at him. Isn't that fucked up? Oh, Courtney, Courtney already knows. I hope you don't know. That's gay, though. Multi-streaming soon with that PC. Courtney, what are you doing down there? You left me in here with my feelings. You sent me a dolphin? So anyways, we were totally 100% committed to this show. And it kicks ass. It's on right now. You should go watch it and support them. After that first season, no more moderators. AT's like, I'm letting them free. And it was a big controversy. And Fire Ash personally needed a break because she was getting Rabbit, he'd be like, where were you at the close of the show? Where were you at the beginning of the show? And it was getting all weird and business dynamic, and there's multiple people, and everyone deals with things differently. But we were all committed and showing up to the table to talk and discuss about the show. And of course, it was there by volunteer base only, but we knew we were supposed to be doing that. I was not a moderator. I said, don't make me. But I was not. They were, but I was there. And Fire Ash brought me in the Discord. And I think that was literally the same day or a couple of days, she found, she's like, I found the men or something like that. Fire Ash has a huge destiny, right? It's the orphan girl. It's the girl. I know how her story works. I know my story works too. At the end, bye-bye. She brought Ruben. All of us, we were guided together. Not because of AT. He was one of them too. He was one of the pieces. I think that's probably 7 of us. I don't know. But so, and then there was another season as long as the one without moderators, and now we're on season 3. There was some tension, and by the end of that last season, it's fine. Everyone should have got their own stuff going on, anyways. We all had personal stuff, we all went into super hermit zone, and we were burnt. We were on 3 nights a week, all of us. We were there hours before the live, we're talking like 8 p.m. And then at 2 or 4, whenever the fuck it would get over, we'd go on the Discord and talk. You think you see AT online a lot now. But it was productive. We were talking about work. We weren't sitting around channeling and joking around and having fun with it. We were like on it. I don't even know. It was well rewarded spent energy though, because we were getting, it was happening, and we had a good schedule, spiritual discipline. It was disciplined, right? So I liked that a lot. I got to be creative, and I was like the loved guy. I was like, oh, Eddie, and I was an asshole too, though. Someone would play a guitar shine. Like, it was cute and stuff like that, but it wasn't exactly mindful, which I'm still working on. It's like, hey, can I play Rainbow Connection? Oh, it came from the right spot. It came from the heart of authenticity and genuineness. Even if it wasn't whatever. But at the time, it was natural. Tonight, now this third, I would say this would be his third semester, right? Because it was a freshman year, sophomore year. This is junior year, senior year. I know, you know what I mean? So you see the new kids come in the class, right? So for some kids, this season's their freshman year, right? You know what I'm saying? Arya gets to skip a grade. Glad I found you, Arya. Not at that point in the story. Arya, if you and Courtney don't know each other, I'm sure you do. Courtney helped me out with the live tonight. She helped me the other day on YouTube. Arya, I got videos of you on my YouTube channel, My Amazing Friends playlist. Hey, there's Arya's big, beautiful face, 8-minute videos. You know how many likes it's got? 1, me. Can you guys go like my videos? I have 104. And YouTube Studio does show. I do have more traction, than I did, but it doesn't hurt to support people. Isn't it weird that a mod... All right, you want to come up and talk to me? You have anything to say?
I like your videos. Come on.
You do? Yeah, Arya does too. I'm talking about the YouTube videos. Do you like any of the YouTube videos? You like the one that's your video with your face in it. It's got, excuse me while I sing this. The Prince song. Every time I try and find my page, that video pops up. It's on my freaking TV every day. Did you watch the live?
I would like you to edit your last post.
You didn't even like the live that we put yesterday.
Make some cuts out. You could cut something out of that.
Did you find it?
Good.
Did you find it?
I didn't listen to it. I'm too much of a chicken shit.
You're like Ed's tipping the tea. Yeah, Arya, if you have your page, I tag you in them too. I fucking tag. I'm just kidding. It's being fresh. But if you have 50 followers and you want to make some videos that you can make a Patreon for, like classes, like 6 episodes. I don't care what they are, just 6 episodes that you have to pay for or have to have a certain tier level to watch. They could be, you have so many gifts, just do anything. As long as you separate something that people will pay for and people won't pay for, guess what? Some people will pay for it. And you deserve it. Arya. Courtney, have you seen her videos? They're like one woman production team.
I should.
No, you don't.
I need help. I need someone to teach me how to do it. I just need to see how to do it.
You got a gig now. Hey, aren't we working on something? Don't stretch yourself too thin. I haven't made any videos. My videos are all like cuts of my lives. You know what I mean? My other videos I used to make with like 3 different screens going at 3 different times and this and that. And I'd be like, hey, how you doing?
I've been a fan for a long time.
Yeah, but I'm not. That's... what am I going to say other than that?
I used to be like technical 20 years ago, but like technology has advanced, and I know I could watch some videos and learn how to do it real quick, but somebody give me an outline.
YouTube, monetization, YouTube, not TikTok. TikTok is practice.
I just like the user interface so much on TikTok. Hopefully Uncle Donald will rescue it. He said some stuff. Ooh, what are you gonna play? Well, I was gonna ask you, will you teach me how to play guitar over the
Aria
internet?
song.
Would you?
Shining up above me.
Oh, I love, that's my favorite
The
song!
sign that say that you love me. A gold sinking in a sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me.
Love it.
Blueberries and a plasma apocalypse. Here we go. It's an eclipse. Walk down.
That's one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite songs to sing, you know.
Yeah, fingerstyle. I've been trying to do fingerstyle.
I think,
And actually, Aria brought up that song one night, or channeled it. I'm going to do this one.
Dream a Little Dream with the two Corys. I think that was the first time I ever had special feelings. Oh, is that Say It Ain't So? No? Sounds familiar. Canon and D? I can't whistle.
And that's that other song, too, that they rip off. It's like, and the days and the drinks, remember? Yeah. Pop music, baby. It's all about the 90s,
You know what
though,
I
right,
want to
Aria?
hear? Well, you probably know it, but Rise by Public Image Limited.
I don't even know what that is.
If I know we're not taking requests, but it's just what popped in my
I don't even know that song, do I?
May the road rise with you. It's just so good. It's Johnny Rotten's
May
band
the
after the
road
Sex
rise
Pistols.
to meet you. Send me a link. What time is it? Midnight. I'm bailing. Much love.
Okay, bye.
Bats. Bats are mindful.
Oh, yeah, my phone's ringing.
Oh, somebody's getting a
Who is
phone
it?
call.
Shauna, my business partner. Let's tell her we're
Oh,
on
tell her I says hi. Tell her I says mwah. And I'm going to call her at lunchtime tomorrow, okay? Tia, I'm going to call you at lunchtime tomorrow, okay?
I'm a robot.
It's
You're on the mic.
1 o'clock your time.
Let's just go. All right, later, guys.
Okay.
We were just
Night.
bye.
Bye.
That's so funny.